instead of like, I am eating the moose.
I think what happened is what I ate was too spicy, and I knew it was spicy. And this is I think my bigger issue than eating all my food at once.
Jethro.
I have I have a taste for spicy food.
That's good, but bad.
And I know that it's going to hurt me. I know it every time. Like I order pad thai. I finally have gotten to the age now where I like when I order pad thai, it's like I'll say 8 out of 10 spice. I used to say 10 out of 10 and not even hesitate.
Man, I'm like a 2.
I used to, when you get the fajitas and they have the grilled jalapeno.
So you're that guy.
I would eat the whole thing.
Well, okay.
And then now it's like my body doesn't want that. I used to want, what's the hottest wings you got? Let's do it. Let's dance. I can't, my body says no to that now. But my
check engine light's starting to flicker.
My brain and my taste buds say yes.
Well, you're in for some hard lessons learned, young fella.
Oh, is there spicy food in this town? Is that going to be a problem for me?
No, I'm just saying the adjustment to the dietary desires and needs, which are two entirely different things.
Of an elderly man,
middle-aged man, start to affect you in remarkably different and unfortunate ways. God, but we all go down this road on our own. Those that have been there try to give our best advice, but we'll sit back and watch.
Well, it is kind of that I'm on my own because when my wife is around, she says, "Are you sure? You sure you want that?"
Mm-hmm.
And then I go, "Oh yeah, probably not." But now, yesterday, I don't think it's a coincidence. I got this food. I took her to the airport and immediately went to the restaurant. Without her. Yeah, I don't listen, I can't eat in front of her. It's too messy, too violent, too bloody.
I'm here not only to I will advise if asked, but I'm also here to watch and laugh. So I will enjoy the slow and painful transition.
I'm hurting today. I got to get what I think I'm going to do is this is what I've discovered over the years. I'm just going to take some kind of daily medicine that keeps me from having this reflux. Yeah, and then I'll eat whatever the hell I want.
Yeah, you can do that. And then you'll go from the stuff you buy over the counter to the ones the doctors are saying, you better take this.
I have a disease, Rob, that I've had now for a few years.
What is that?
I have the gout.
Oh.
And it's
that's a RPP, my brother.
I thought gout was only for really old people.
No, man. You're eating too much red meat.
Yeah, that's what they say. And I got the gout maybe 5 or 6 years ago, and I was still in my 30s. I was like, that can't be right. That's an old man disease. But it's not. I think it's more of a fat man disease,
it's a rich foods.
Yeah.
Too much chocolate and red wine
and
meat.
They told me, I went to the doctor. I was like, what is going on here? I thought my foot was going to fall off. And I go to the doctor and he says, listen, man, your numbers are out of control. They're out of control, friend. You got 2 options. You can either stop eating red meat and drinking alcohol.
Mm-hmm.
And instantly I'm like, okay, what's option 2? Like option 2 literally could have been
cut it off.
Option 2 could have been amputation. I would have been like, all right, it's gone. But it was like, or you can take a pill every day for the rest of your life. And the truth is, I don't like to take medicine. I've never liked to take medicine. It's just something I don't enjoy. I don't like. I don't know. I always worry there's going to be some kind of side effect or something. But I said, I guess I'm just taking this pill. So now I take a pill every day for my gout.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can take one more that lets me eat spicy foods,
I don't think there's that.
I see commercials about it. Where there'll be a fat guy kind of
hitting your stomach.
He's kind of holding his stomach like, but then he takes that pill once a day. And
there is some, there's a couple of those.
Drinking hot sauce and just going to town.
Yeah, you can do that. But the doctors will say if you don't want to do that.
Why are you such a buzzkill?
I'm not being a buzzkill.
Man.
You have to look at it like this. Instead of enjoying it just once, you get to enjoy it twice.
Yeah.
There's the story of the 2 bulls walking down the road, an old one and a young one, and they look down and see a bunch of cows. You know that joke?
And
one says, let's run down there and do something. The other one says, no, let's walk down and do it with them all.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
That statement, that joke holds so much truth the older you get.
Okay. Well, I don't run down and F the cows.
No, I'm just saying, but you're running down, you're eating your whole meal. Why don't you just slow down and enjoy it? And you won't suffer the next day. And you will have had twice the enjoyment, the oodles of fun.
Well, the good news is, even though my wife lives across the country, I've got one here to
I'm here. You're right.
to do almost all the things my wife does for me.
All I am here to offer guidance and sit back and watch.
I'm gonna buy you a wig and some lingerie.
I've already got it.
Oh, all right.
Choose your color, my brother. Oh, I'm not allowed to talk about that.
Well,
I'm an actor.
Yeah, something like that. We got a fun program set up for you today. We got some hoops to talk. We got some football to talk. We've got some airline etiquette to talk. Bronny James, the decision is made, and I'm actually hearing more and more Bronny James rising up the boards. Okay, guys, y'all write it down in your notebook.
Or is LeBron raising? Is there
it's like
symbiotic, one coming down, other coming up?
It's like when you're in the bathtub and you think the bathtub is, it's only like quarter of the way full, but then you sit in it and suddenly it's overflowing.
It's kind of mass meets volume.
Yeah. There's some word for that. Displacement, I think.
I think that's exactly what it's
called. I think LeBron is sticking his foot in the draft pool, and up comes Bronny, floating like a bobber. Like a bobber on a bass setup.
The bubble, right there. Your level.
LeBron, bubble talk is.
Would you do it? I mean, would you? You're sitting there. You're at like 15. Maybe you're at 8. You get a call from somebody with an Akron phone number. You go, hey, if you take the boy, you get the man.
Well, Rob, we'll talk about that a little later in the program. There's an appeal to that, but the funny thing is that the more you hear Bronny and LeBron talk, they're acting like, that's not going to happen.
It's not.
Bronny doesn't want to he doesn't want to play with LeBron. Bronny he wants to stand on his own 2 feet like a man. We'll see. Because guess what? I wanted to eat that spicy ass sausage like a man yesterday. Guess what it got me?
Mark the tape.
It's not that. That's you, isn't it? Yeah, this dude's body's broken. Vic
13 and 27 seconds.
Vic missed a whole day yesterday, like having his kidney massaged or something.
That's what we call it now?
I don't know what it was. What happened to you?
Yeah, I was just dehydrated.
He was getting the Robert Kraft special.
Yeah, my kidney was real sore. I only have one kidney, and it was super sore in the morning around 3 or 4.
Yeah, I noticed you sent that email about 3 o'clock.
Yeah.
That's like the
felt like I got punched in my kidney. It just was super sore, and it ended up being dehydrated.
How many Modelo's did you drink?
None.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, I don't drink.
What? I shouldn't have been so brand specific. That's what got him.
No, it wasn't.
No Modelo's. No. Not a single Modelo. I swear.
I know my man Vic.
It was Corona.
No, it was. Was it? No, it wasn't even.
It wasn't Corona. He would have put a lime in that, and that citrus would have helped him.
It wasn't beer.
Nah,
it wasn't beer.
No, it wasn't beer.
Nah.
Tequila.
No.
It was distilled alcohol.
Yeah,
sure.
Yeah.
Well, all I can say was clear.
Yeah. I know, my man.
The cream and the clear. Well, if I were you, I'd get a second kidney.
Yeah, I'm trying to buy one right now, but they're kind of expensive.
Listen, man, you're on the big show now.
Yeah, we'll see what we can get.
You go into the boss's office and say, hey,
I need a kidney.
Rob and AJ said, whatever I need.
I'd offer mine, but
you don't want it.
Car, man.
Yeah, man, that's a limit.
The warranties run out.
I would offer mine, but Rob is just letting me know how unhealthy I am.
Trust me, you don't want.
I only eat once a day. And I have the gout, which I don't know if it's related to kidneys, but it probably is.
Oh yeah, I'll probably be worse with it.
Yeah, you don't want that. You don't want my gouty ass kidney.
I am a lion.
No way.
All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, we're going to talk about this thug ass Scotty Scheffler, who's finally he's had his day in the justice system, and what do you know? Getting away with murder. It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
94.1 FM.
Trane heating and cooling systems are tested, retested, engineered, and re-engineered to keep up with you. We run together. Visit TraneInfo.com to find your local independent Trane dealer. TraneInfo.com. It's hard to stop a train.
With Verizon, now everyone can get our best phone deals.
Even if I'm new?
Even if you're new.
What if I've been with Verizon forever?
Oh, yeah. You see, new and existing customers get the amazing iPhone 15 with tons of storage on us. With any iPhone trade, any model, any condition. Guaranteed with unlimited ultimate.
Here's one. What if?
That's a yes. There's a deal out there for everyone. Only at Verizon. $829.99, 128 gigabyte only device payment or full retail purchase with new or upgrade smartphone line on unlimited ultimate plan. Minimum $90 a month with auto pay plus taxes and fees for 36 months required. Less $830 trade-in/promo credit applied over 36 months. Promo credit ends if eligibility requirements are no longer met. 0% APR. Trade-in terms apply.
Free! Who doesn't love free? With Milo's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping. Because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowe's.com/Milo's Rewards today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change. Free! Who doesn't love free? With Milo's Rewards, you get the member-only treatment that's actually worth it. Enjoy free member gifts you'll love. And once you reach Silver Key status, you can get free standard shipping. Because Lowe's knows nothing feels better than free. Learn more about our new loyalty program at Lowe's.com/Milo's Rewards today. Program subject to terms and conditions. See Lowe's.com/terms for details. Member gifts may be subject to additional terms and restrictions. See Lowe's.com/shipping terms for details. Subject to change.
Around here at Wrangler, we are all excited for spring. The longer days, the warmer nights. When you've got your pick of shorts and jeans, either works just fine. Blue skies, open roads. Wrangler, for the ride of life.
Check engine light on? Take the guesswork out of your check engine light with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan today.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Look at you. You're a man. You work hard, you sweat hard, and then you smell hard. Just as God intended. Introducing a better way to fight your manly body odor with Mando Whole Body Deodorant. Mando takes a different approach to body odor. Instead of waiting for it to happen and covering it up, Mando's acidified technology blocks body odor before it starts anywhere on your body. That's right, anywhere. Pits, privates, and feet. Mando is clinically proven to block body odor all day and continue to control BO for 72 hours. Our cologne quality scents will enhance your manliness without being overpowering. Plus, it comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee, so there are no risks. Not that you have any problem taking risks. Hasta la vista, stench. Try Mando Whole Body Deodorant today. Go to shopmando.com and use code 1010 for an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack. That comes with a solid stick, cream tube, 2 free products of your choice, and ships free with code 1010. Shopmando.com, code 1010 for an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack. That's shopmando.com, code 1010.
We're here with Jose Rios, attorney at the Gomez Law Firm. If you are injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, Jose, what's the first thing our listeners should do?
The first thing they should do is pick up the phone, call the Gomez Law Firm, or Google joegomezlaw.com.
Gomez Law has been protecting the people of our community for almost 50 years. They're the leader in personal injury law.
We do ride-sharing cases. We do carbon monoxide cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries.
But that's not all your firm does, Jose. Tell us a little more about other cases Gomez Law takes on and wins here in Texas.
Really, anything that involves a personal injury and a third party that is responsible for causing that injury, we will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
And remember, Gomez Law fights.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
Bam. What is up, baby? Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Vince Fat Fingers on the YouTube says, no sound, I'm out.
No sabi.
Fat Fingers, I think you messed up, Fat Fingers. I got sound on my YouTubes. Everybody else seems to be listening. Rudolph is listening because he calls us the Brokeback Huddle, so he knows. Maybe the sound.
My mom's on this thing.
Maybe the sound is broken because the 109er says the intro music shirt sucks, which that can't be true.
Good morning, new guy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And then Tejas shirt. I'm not Puro Tejas.
Oh, he's Puro. I'll verify. I verified that.
Come on, man.
Puro. I was down in Beeville, Texas with the fam.
I'm not Puro San Antonio, but
he's Puro, man.
Don't try to take away.
You got South Texas in him. Trust me.
I'm Texan enough, Bubba.
Trust me. There's enough.
I'm in the club, baby.
Yeah. Well, you're not in. You hold an office.
That's right. And how dare you question my Texanism, my Tejasism?
It gave you the gout, but that's a whole other problem.
Puro Vegas, maybe. See,
don't bring that up. See, I was trying to defend you. You start doing that stuff, and there's nothing I can do. Well, there's nothing I can do.
He said that.
Well, don't bring that up. I mean, I lived in Florida for a moment. I'm not proud of it.
Yeah, man.
Sometimes we follow the money,
Did what I had to do.
We did.
I got bills to pay, Goldfinger.
We don't have Goldfinger.
I don't have Goldfinger or Fat Fingers.
What's up with the fingers?
What's up with all the fingering? Yeah.
I'm starting to wonder about you guys.
Yeah. Bunch of fingerers. Well, what are you working with?
I'm looking for a pen here.
Oh, there you go, man.
Oh, well, gracias.
Yeah, of course.
Anything to improve the quality.
Anything to help you out with Brokeback Huddle.
I can't quit you.
I'll never quit you. They say you ain't texting enough, AJ. You're texting enough for me. I just wish you'd eat more often.
I'm having a terrible morning, and now I'm part of the Brokeback Huddle.
Well, you know who's having a better morning than us?
Who's that?
Scotty Scheffler. Guess why?
Free at last.
Free at last. Free at last. This guy getting away, of course. This white man getting away with his crimes.
Crime wave.
Yeah. Assaulted an officer. Guess what? Charges are dropped. Not only are the charges dropped, I want you to think about this. I want you to think about what this thug is getting away with. He basically assaults an officer of the law, a peace officer, assaults him. Tries to run him over, ruined his pants, caused $80 worth of damage to that officer's pants.
What? $80?
Held up the whole damn tournament so he could make his tea time.
Do we really have a dollar amount, or did you just? Am I that gullible this early?
Oh, remember it was an $80. He had he caused $80 worth of damage to his pants.
Okay,
but listen, man. Well, first, before we hear from Scotty's attorney, let's hear from Mike O'Connell about the charges against Scotty Scheffler.
Mr. Scheffler's characterization that this was, quote, a big misunderstanding, close quote, is corroborated by the evidence. The evidence we reviewed supports the conclusion that Detective Gillis was concerned for public safety at the scene when he initiated contact with Mr. Scheffler.
Exactly.
However, Mr. Scheffler's actions and the evidence surrounding their exchange during this misunderstanding do not satisfy the elements of any criminal offenses.
Except, didn't he pass on the right on the shoulder, go around a bus?
I'm not even sure that's illegal anymore.
Oh. Well, didn't he not comply when the officer told him to stop his vehicle?
He showed his tour card. That exempts you from those things.
Uh-huh. Yeah. This is why, boy, I'll just say it sounds about white. Sounds about white to me that he'd be getting away with this.
I'll tell you what. It ain't about White. It's about a cat named Racine. What's this guy's name? What's this lawyer's name?
Steve Romines.
Romines.
Well, he takes it even further.
I like this guy.
This is disgusting.
Oh no, he's a man of the people.
This is OJ level stuff.
Yes. And
Scotty Scheffler is the new OJ. Just getting away with it.
Hey,
getting away with it.
If the cam is off, you got to let him go. That didn't rhyme. I want this guy. I want this lawyer. Romines.
It's obviously didn't do anything wrong. As I've said repeatedly, the more evidence that comes out, the more it shows that, Scotty was a victim here.
A victim.
It is remarkable the restraint and character he evidenced, not only during the incident, after the incident as he's being taken downtown, and in the press conference that day. We need more Scotty Schefflers in the world.
Yes, we do, brother.
He sounds like he he sounds like he works at that place in Waco that fixes up your house. And what's those people's names?
Dude, the Chip and
Joanna Gaines. It's ridiculous what they're doing to him. He's the victim here.
It is blasphemous. It is outrageous. And I'm about to be litigious. And we are going to talk dollars soon enough, my brothers. Can I get an amen?
He does sound like, I was going to say, he sounds like a Southern Baptist preacher.
Hey, listen to this.
Said repeatedly, the more evidence that comes out, the more it shows.
More evidence that comes out.
It is remarkable the restraint and character he evidenced, not only during the incident, after the incident as he's being taken downtown, and in the press conference that day. We need more Scotty Schefflers in the world.
Oh, the hell we do. That would be considered a gang if we had more than one.
I think it'd be a gaggle.
Right now, he's a lone wolf.
A roving crime.
Yeah, he's a one man.
AJ, you heard he's not a criminal. The man is a victim.
We need more Scotty Schefflers is what we need.
You never talk to the police.
It's amazing how much restraint he showed.
I'd have whooped their asses if it was
when he assaulted that officer. Assaulted him with restraint.
I'll tell you. I'm surprised.
I mean, it's disgusting. The stuff that these white folks are getting away with is all I can say.
Although
you're right, Brian. Just swept under the rug. Swept under the rug. Like that's what we do in this country. If you if you look a certain way, you're just gonna get away with it every time. Assaulting an officer.
Well, maybe he was pulled over for driving while white. Ever think of that? He is the victim here.
That's true. He is the victim here. He is the victim.
How much money do you think he's going to sue for? You think he'll?
Do you think? Why didn't Steve Romine say this is the white man's Rodney King?
Well, because we actually have video of that.
What? We have video of that. It's grainy. It's from across the street.
Do we have? Oh, we don't have the actual.
The body cam is off. Much like the officer who got in the back seat with the hot chick when he stood up out of the car to arrest Scotty Scheffler for his criminal activity. The door hit his body cam and accidentally shut it off.
That happens,
It happens far too often.
It happens a lot. And every now and then I actually fall into women and I get lipstick on my shirt, and it just happens.
Yeah.
Just I trip and fall into their lips.
And sometimes after you're locked in the back seat of the car with a woman, and there's semen on your belt
and glitter on your face.
But that came from a different incident. That's old.
That was.
That's an old belt.
That's been there a day or two, honey. I can't claim for the authenticity or how recent the semen arrived. It could have been old.
Steve Romines. He's a victim. Stop it. This dude is a thug. A thug.
I'm hiring this guy.
I mean, I am too. Yeah, he's a good lawyer, obviously, but he got this thug off.
The amount of restraint that this blessed man has shown.
You know what? Steve Romines is about to be the new David Kardashian.
He's going to be that guy?
Yeah.
Defend to the end?
Does
he know the truth?
His kids are about to get a reality show. They're going to be like the hillbilly Kardashians. You think you can wear that dress? I don't think that's my dress.
And you saw that last couple of
your
hillbilly.
makeup looks like hell.
Now that couple of hillbilly Kardashians that they tried, they went to prison for tax evasion.
What?
You know the guy that was seen, he might have been gay but wasn't, and married and had the kids, and they all the tax evasion. Those guys are in prison now. You don't know.
I don't know what you're talking about.
There's somebody knows.
Is it Chip Gaines?
No, those. Don't you defame the good Texas Gaines numbers and family.
Well, I'm not
They put
Tejas.
Waco on the map. You
Oh,
know
I
how
know.
hard that is.
I know.
Bethlehem on the Brazos.
Well, I think David Koresh put in some work on that.
It took the weight of the Gaines to overcome.
David Koresh walked so
the
Joanna
explosive
Gaines could
nature.
run.
Let me tell you, wait till she redoes that whole compound. It'll be, man, that woman can tidy up a cave.
There's a hole in this wall. I see, like someone looks like they drove a damn tank through this wall.
That's a howitzer hole.
And if I put up some nice curtains and some shears with some
That's
blackouts.
That's next season as the Gaines redo the Koresh compound. Now that's some TV I would watch.
Mount Carmel. All right, we got to hit a break. You're taking the show off the rails, Rob.
This is where they kept the girls.
Well, this is the underage room. This is the of age room.
Oh.
And this is the powder keg room. We're going to talk more sports and stuff. We're going to get away from this
In a
thuggery.
rumpus room in here.
We're going to get it. David Koresh was a victim, y'all.
He was a victim, y'all.
Victim.
He just thought he was the son of God. That's all.
I mean, the cops were a little out of line. Maybe ATF could have taken a different approach. There's good and bad people on both sides, Rob. We can agree to that.
I'm not going down that plank. It's early.
All right, Western Conference Finals. On the other side,
over, baby.
It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You know, we're halfway there. It's time to start talking about what you're grilling on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Tri-County Meat Market's going to wait for you today with brand new specials on the log. So new, I don't even know what they are. I do know this. If you're a first responder, you're getting 10% just for doing what you do. Thank you. If you walk in right now, as soon as the doors open, you're going to get 5 for 25. That's always in play. That's 5 items in a bag. Trust me, that's meats, produce, whatever you're chasing, all in one little area. You got 2 meals in there. It is the best deal in San Antonio. Find out for yourself. I recommend kind of varying it up this weekend. I think Saturday is always good for a quick one early as it starts to get hot, and then Sunday's the day of the big meal. So Saturday, I recommend go get some of their house-made hamburger meat and the hamburgers. They blend them perfectly. It's got the good mix of fat and everything that goes along with it. You don't need to pound them out. You don't got to do nothing but throw it on the grill. And they stay the same size, so they feed plenty of people. It's a great value per dollar. That's a good Saturday. Now, Sunday, I'd do some ribs this Sunday. Get started early and let them take care of themselves as you lounge by the pool or at your friend's house. Then come back home, have yourself some food. Tri-County Meat Market's got 2 locations. Huebner out on Ralph Fair. You know the meal is ready. Once you walk into Tri-County, they'll give you the ideas. Head out this week and grab yourself a rub you might not have used before. Put some good meat on the grill, and you know what you need to do then. Let's thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, yes, we do have NBA basketball tonight. Game 5 between the Mavs and the Timberwolves. Who gets it done?
We'll discuss and predict, plus we'll talk some NFL football with the great John McClain, who joined us at 5:15. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Guys, did you know your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED? And right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. They've helped thousands of men since 2011 feel and perform better. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Schedule your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation today. Call 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Working from home, you realize you don't have enough outlets or USB ports. Hill Electric can fix that for you. For over 3 decades, the family-owned Hill Electric has served San Antonio homes and businesses. From adding an outlet, fixing that fuse that always blows, or that flickering light, Hill Electric has the right service at the right price, and there is never a service charge and always free estimates. Call Hill Electric at 210-404-9074. That's 404-9074. Or go to hill-electric.com.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Why do so many dogs suffer from weight issues, skin problems, messy poops, and low energy? It could be the popular dog food you put in their bowl each day.
Cody was sleeping a lot, wasn't playing.
She was very lethargic and not moving around. Dry kibble just wasn't cutting it.
That's why, after more than 45 years of experience of helping dogs make complete health turnarounds, veterinarian Dr. Marty created Nature's Blend. It's a freeze-dried raw dog food made with wholesome ingredients like premium meats, seeds, vegetables, and fruit. And once dog parents switch their pups to Nature's Blend, the results can be astounding.
She's got her energy back. She's running around like she did like 5 years ago.
Miraculously, she's just feeling all around better. She's like a new dog. Thank you, Dr. Marty.
Get your dog started today and save up to 54% off Nature's Blend. Plus, receive a free pack of our best-selling beef liver dog treats. Go to drmartypets.com/good or text GOOD to 511-511. Text GOOD to 511-511. All dogs are unique. Your dog's results can and will vary. Message and data rates may apply.
We could try to explain what it feels like to get your work done on a John Deere. The way a Z-Track mower finishes in half the time you thought it would. Or how much easier it is to move mountains of soil with a 1 Series tractor. We could even go into detail about how it feels to tow up to 4,000 pounds behind a Gator XUV. But if you really want to know what it's like to run with us, you just have to get in the seat. Learn more at johndeere.com/get-in-the-seat or visit a dealer near you.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at checkethos.com. That's checkethos.com.
This is Jim Rome. Join me weekdays at noon, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle. Now you're catching strays, Vic. Fat Finger says maybe you should have done a sound check before the show started. You big dope.
did.
Oh,
why is he crying about something that happened like 30 minutes ago? We're on, and his internet was probably messed up.
He wants to know why you blew it.
Yeah, I didn't blow it.
Well, he says maybe you're
yeah, he's a Yoron. That's what we call him.
What's that mean?
Crybaby.
Oh,
shots fired.
Yeah, shots have been fired.
I didn't say that,
Fat
Fat Fingers. I don't talk about our listeners that way. I love all of you, even the ones of you who are a-holes.
Yeah, the Yorons and
You know who you are.
Yeah, but I still love them. That's just, it's in my DNA to love everybody, Rob. I'm a lover.
We'll leave it at that.
The Western Conference Finals get back underway tonight. The Minnesota Timberwolves trying to scratch and claw their way back into this thing.
It's never happened before.
It's never happened in the history of time. But you know, I'm not going to rule it out. And here, there's a couple reasons why. I firmly believe that Derek Lively matters defensively, especially in this matchup. He was clearly giving Karl Anthony Towns problems. And, he's out. Karl Anthony Towns suddenly has by far the best game he's had all playoff or all series. Not all playoffs, but he ain't playing tonight. They say he's questionable. He's been upgraded to questionable. I'm not. Now, Rob is a doctor, okay?
I am.
He went to medical school.
Last week, yeah.
Yes. He's a dietitian. He's a doctor. He's a lawyer. He's he's a lot of other stuff. Architect. Okay. Yeah, that's true. But
sculptor.
Are you really?
That too.
Ice, clay, what do you use?
Primarily spaghetti.
Oh,
pastas of varieties.
Now, do you use it it's got to be cold, right?
Well, it does. You like it hard.
Yeah.
To be able to glue together, but the limp stuff.
That's what I don't like leftover spaghetti because I don't like when the noodles are like a big clump.
I don't want to go down a road, but I do think pasta the day after is better. I do think it absorbs the flavors a bit, but that's a whole other discussion.
Do you when you put away your, let's say your wife makes spaghetti,
she ruins it.
How does she ruin it?
You've got to keep the pasta separate.
Okay. She likes to combine.
Yeah, then it gets it gets a little jellyish.
Yeah.
But the sauce, by the time it settles in the next day, I think sauce is better.
So you like to keep them in two separate containers.
Really gets to know each other overnight, and then you kind of put it back in, and you warm your pasta up with a little bit of water, a little bit of salt, loosen it up a little bit, and then go to town.
So does she combine it before you eat?
Yeah, it's a space saving thing.
No, I'm saying but she doesn't combine it before you eat it, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
So she cooks the
The
noodles,
only reason I say that
sauce,
is
and then she
literally
dumps it
night
all into
before
one
last.
pot.
It was all in one pot by the time we ate it. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we all have our Wapos. I choose my battles. That's one we've let slide.
Where'd she grow up?
The ghettos of Farmers Branch, Texas.
What do you?
So her neighbor was Vanilla Ice.
Really?
She grew up with Vanilla Ice. Yes.
Oh, I thought you meant her neighbor up until recently.
Well,
Rob
Rob
Van Winkle.
Robbie Van, yeah.
Yeah, what a guy.
He is actually a pretty decent cat.
Were they acquaintances?
Yeah, they dated in high school.
What? Is he your Eskimo bro?
Well, they didn't date that way, but yeah, they dated friends. They were all in the same circle. But yeah, man.
But they didn't
well, that's the story now. Who knows? I if there was any financial benefit, I never saw it.
Imagine that, your Eskimo bros.
Maybe with vanilla
ice.
1 degree. Yeah.
Wow.
And you know who are the best? This is a North Dallas story. His best friend, or at least close friend growing up, was Bill Clinton's brother's wife, and they went out with the Clintons.
Really?
Way back when Vanilla Ice and the Clintons have been in the same room at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff you get when you hang around me. But yeah, North Dallas ghettos. They don't know how to cook pasta up there.
That is a crazy way to Vic, when your wife cooks, does your wife cook spaghetti, or are you the chef in the house?
No, she cooks the spaghetti.
Does she combine the spaghetti and the sauce before you eat it?
No.
That would be
shows
insane.
up in one big bowl.
That's insane.
Remember, she just boils it and makes sure it's sticky, and then from there, it's all by itself in the beginning. Yeah.
It shows up on the table in a big combined.
That is wild. Like a salad.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like she's already just mixed all the stuff
all
together.
In there. You just need it's one less thing in the dishwasher.
No, because you don't cook them together.
No.
I eat, when I get spaghetti, my wife leaves. Okay, so she cooks the spaghetti in the pot and dumps it into the strainer.
Right.
Or a colander, the fancy people would call it. Probably people in North Dallas would call it a colander. And then there's obviously a pan with spaghetti sauce.
Sauce that's been cooking, yeah. And the crazy thing is that she's a scratch sauce maker, which is excellent.
And those dishes are done. They're already dirty.
I'm just telling you, when the pot arrives, it is already combined. And we got 2 big tongs, and you just kind of serve it up.
Fascinating.
I don't think it's that crazy.
It's pretty crazy.
I guess I've been doing it for so long. It's so long.
Pretty crazy.
But when you go to a restaurant, it's already on.
Well,
they don't bring it out in a bowl, so I don't find it that odd to have a plate in front of me with it already mixed, because I rarely do it otherwise.
But here's the thing. It's not at a restaurant. It's not already
ladled
mixed.
on.
It's ladled on. You're saying she serves it like it.
Well, no, the pasta. It's not like salad mixed together. The pasta is just like on the bottom and the sauce is on top, and you can grab the meatballs or the sausages.
Okay, so it's not like already all mixed together.
No, it's just the pasta, and then the sauce is like dumped on top.
Okay,
and then you can ladle the sauce. And
I stand
stuff
corrected.
out.
That's not crazy. It's a little more crazy than like if you should keep them
it's
separate.
not the way. But I've been doing it so long, I don't even give it a second thought. But I do recall the very first time she served it that way. I thought I'd like to reserve the right to choose my ratio of sauce. To pasta. But I let it go so long ago. It's not even a second thought. But you can kind of do it that way, but it's not ideal.
I went to my friend James' house when I was a little kid, and his mom served the spaghetti all mixed up.
No, this is like plop plop on the table.
This is like, imagine, like, did you ever have Chef Boyardee spaghetti?
Oh, I know
in
exactly
a can?
what you're talking about. And that's what it happens the day after. See, that's how we get it the day after, because it is all mixed together by that point, and it's been put into a Tupperware, which is forever orange.
If you serve your spaghetti already mixed up,
well, I mean, I'm kind of there, so I'm not going to say that I don't do that, because it is all kind of together, and I don't always have as much as I would like. You know what I mean? So no, I get it. You're right.
I don't like that.
It's not the best way.
Back to the Western Conference Finals.
It's over tonight.
Yeah, I disagree.
I think it's going to be over.
I disagree. I think you know what? On the other side, I'll tell you why. I've got a conspiracy theory of why it's not going to end tonight. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Score a trip for 4 to Orlando's most magical theme park, including airfare and hotel. Register now to win at sanantoniosportstar.com.
If you get arrested, get out of jail fast by calling AA Best Bail Bonds, 210-225-2121. Text bail to 474747 or online mybestbailbonds.com. You don't have to call attorneys or anybody else. Don't be forced into a PR bond. If the jail offers you one, make sure you understand the conditions before accepting it. AA Best Bail Bonds. Nobody beats their price. They have payment plans. Call 210-225-2121 or mybestbailbonds.com.
License number 149.
Over the past decade, the Roo Pub has proven to be the best place to watch games with those 3 massive 170-inch screens and TVs all around. All the games, all the UFC fights, and when you show up at the Roo Pub, show up hungry. The food is fantastic. Open daily at 11. Great for lunch, great for dinner, great for late at night, and certainly the best place to watch a game. The Roo Pub is next to the Angry Elephant and in the same plaza as the Big Blind. They're at 281 in Redland Road. We'll see you at the Roo.
Introducing Lumi for Men, and we named him Mando. I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the inventor of Mando Whole Body Deodorant for pits, packages, and feet, because we all know our pits aren't the only place we get odor. Mando Whole Body Deodorant is different from anything you've ever tried before. It stops odor before it starts, powered by our acidified technology. Mando controls odor anywhere you have it. My patented whole body deodorant formula has over 200,000 5-star reviews. And because Mando has a 60-day stink-free guarantee, you can try Mando risk-free. Give Mando whole body deodorant a try today and smell like the stink-free man you were intended to be.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 1515 and get an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, 2 free products of your choice, and ships free with code 1515. Go to shopmando.com, code 1515, for an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack. That's shopmando.com, code 1515.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
George gets justice. In life's most challenging moments, getting the right help matters most if you've been injured. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers. With a track record of success and a dedication to their clients, George gets justice. George Salinas Injury Lawyers is not just a law firm. They're your support system. Get George at George Salinas Injury Lawyers today at 210-225-0909 or visit GetGeorge.com. George gets justice. GetGeorge.com.
Let our team keep your home running comfortable and worry-free. Call on Mr. Electric for all your electrical needs. 210-248-2026. Or get a hold of us online at MrElectric.com and enter your zip code.
License number TECL 34221.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started Wesley Financial Group to do one thing: help people get out of their timeshare nightmare. When you buy a timeshare, the timeshare company can raise your annual maintenance fees at will. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Want out of your timeshare? Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
Boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Game 5 of the Western Conference Finals coming up tonight. T-Wolves and Mavs. Does everybody in San Antonio just hate the Mavericks automatically?
Yes.
Yeah, I do too, man.
Yeah, Todd's and fake Rolexes.
This is honestly my nightmare scenario for an NBA Finals if the Mavericks win, because I refuse to have any rooting interest in the Mavericks or the Celtics.
Really? Why the Celtics?
I don't like things from Boston.
Oh, I get it.
We've talked about that. I don't like the way they talk. I don't like their attitudes. I don't like anything about them.
Beans.
I don't like that when the Red Sox, when they broke that streak of like a million years when they couldn't win, they acted like it was like they were the sisters of the poor and they conquered the evil empire. And it's like, bro,
you've had all the money in the world.
You guys were
forever.
Second in payroll. Like, stop acting like you're the Pittsburgh Pirates
or the Royals.
It was ridiculous the way they acted about that. And the Patriots, I just don't like it.
I'm down, but they're not like a hated juggernaut. I don't fear them. I just don't really like them.
But you think that Dallas gets the job done tonight?
I think when Luka is a better on the road for a lot of reasons because of the way he plays. He's going to dominate the pace of the game. And
I think pace is important, but here's what I also think. The NBA realizes they don't want to go 10 days without a basketball game on television. I don't think the NBA can afford, like, especially the way the NHL is going right now. And every game's been awesome, and there's like all these overtime games. I don't think you can have a 4-game and a 5-game conference finals.
It would be a nightmare scenario. There's no question. I can't, because you just mentioned it. I don't think it matters which team comes out. That this is not a NBA Finals that people are just can't wait to see who's best.
No,
it's just another year.
I think that there is. I mean, the Celtics are one of those teams that the NBA is probably not upset that are in, but Dallas and Minnesota certainly aren't markets that the NBA is like, oh, we can get that. I mean, not like San Antonio is either.
No, we know what it's like.
Nobody's the
not to care
Lakers.
about. Yeah.
But yeah, I just don't think the NBA can afford it. We're going to talk more about this setup coming up. It is the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Riding the work with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. It's the Morning Huddle, KTFM Floresville.
Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Fuel prices are coming down.
No.
Have you not noticed?
CBS News 20 hours ago, after drifting downward for the past few weeks, gas prices are on the rise again.
2 weeks of dropping. I'm right for 2 weeks. You're right for 15 minutes. And you're going to trump me on national radio.
I'm sorry.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Testosterone levels in men can start to decrease as early as 30 years old, and long-term health risks can be extremely damaging to your body. Rock's Discount Vitamins carries a variety of natural testosterone boosters that can immediately provide you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improve your mood. Rock's Discount Vitamins natural testosterone boosters can even help you build muscle and lose weight faster. With 11 San Antonio locations, visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. Thanking God and South Texas for all the support.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here from my good friends at Connecticut. You know, living in South Texas, growing up in San Antonio, it's been a great place to be because, well, we love the land, we love the people, and boy, do we love our water. That aquifer water, it makes some good sweet tea and some fine beer, but I'll tell you what comes out of the ground we do not want in our glasses, and that's where Connecticut comes in. The finest water treatment system you can get around these parts. Designed and built in the United States, it is made in America for you, San Antonio, for me. I've been a Connecticut customer for years, and now's the chance for you to be one without any risk. Call Connecticut today at 656-PURE. That's 656-PURE. And the good folks at Connecticut are going to come out to your home, put one in your house for the next 90 days. So you can find out what the rest of us already know, that we have a water softener designed and made with South San Antonio in mind. Call Connecticut today at 656-PURE. Get a Connecticut in your home for the next 90 days. You're going to be like me, a Connecticut customer. You know what you're going to do? You're going to thank me later.
ConnecticutSA.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Two guys drove to work. Neither guy wore a seatbelt. One guy got a ticket. One guy didn't. The same two guys drove home. One guy wore a seatbelt. One guy didn't. One guy made it home. The guy not wearing his seatbelt didn't. Don't risk it. Click it or ticket. Paid for by NHTSA.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-2706. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-2706. That's 800-575-2706. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Score a trip for 4 to Orlando's most magical theme park, including airfare and hotel. Register now to win at SanAntonioSportsStar.com. San Antonio Sports Center.
In the NBA, the Western Conference Finals continue as Minnesota attempts to save off a gentleman's sweep. Game 5 tonight at 7:30. The Houston Astros fell late to the Seattle Mariners 2-1. They'll wrap up the series today in Seattle, first pitch at 3:10. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Sports Center is brought to you by Buyers Barricades, the Texas Authority in Barricade Rental. BuyersBarricades.com.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Bum, 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 bum. Busy show so far. So we've kind of run the gauntlet of life. Talked about my illnesses.
Reflux.
That's terrible. We've talked about the thug life of Scotty Scheffler and how he's kind of a victim, according to his lawyer.
Oh, if they'd have actually brought the charges, he'd have just joined the Live Tour and moved.
You think he would have
gone on the lam?
You think so?
Well, we don't even know where the Live plays, so he could have gone and played
I think
there.
they play
we wouldn't have noticed.
In Dubai.
Well, he fits right in there.
Or Abu Dhabi. I don't know. Actually, I don't know where they play.
So he could have just disappeared. That's
Yeah.
where the golfers go to hide, is the Live Tour, and he'd have made a lot of money, and nobody would have cared. So, and they let
Knowing
him
him, he would have gone over there with weed, and then he would have been in prison like Brittany Griner.
He is a victim, sir.
He's a thug.
Sir, he is a victim of a malicious and overzealous police force in Louisville.
Gary says Mark Cuban made us hate the Mavs by trashing our city.
He kind of did.
What did he say?
I think for a long time, Mark Cuban thought we were actually Mexico and our river was the Rio Grande. He was afraid he'd step on the other side and something bad would happen.
Well, I like it here.
Well, we keep whipping their ass in basketball for 20 years. I
Yeah.
can see why they're a little
Suck it, Mark
little
Cuban.
upset.
Shows what you know, pal. I don't like the Mavericks. I just don't like. I don't particularly like Dallas as as a city in general. Whatever. And if you're down with Dallas, then F you too. In the words of the great American poet Tupac Shakur.
Did he hate Dallas?
No, he said he was talking about Bad Boy. He was talking about Puffy and Biggie. He said, if you're down with them, then F you too.
Turns out he was right.
Yeah. Well, he died too, so that wasn't great.
He's not dead.
I think he's dead.
He's raising pit bulls down in Pasadena.
No, boy.
Oh, wait, that's Elvis. Sorry.
No.
They all live in the same trailer park.
I think that's the guy from the Chiefs. We're going to talk about him later. Man, the Chiefs, what an offseason the Chiefs are having.
That follows Andy Reid.
My goodness.
It
Andy
has
Reid.
always followed Andy Reid. I don't know why that chaos like this, and it's always just kind of icky.
You know what I think it is? I think it's because Andy Reid eats too many times a day.
No, he's a one-timer.
No, he's not.
We call those folks one-timers.
He's not one of mine.
He's a one-timer.
He's one of yours. He's one of yours.
He's a one-timer. No, you can tell he's a several-timer by the menu.
Yeah.
For the games.
Give me some of those nuggies.
Creeps
me out.
Nuggies
I don't like that.
It kind of moved. Kind of got a little full when he said it.
I don't like that at all.
Nuggies.
From a matchup standpoint tonight in the Western Conference Finals, I do think that there are I saw this stat and it blew my mind because I was firmly Minnesota's going to win. They're going to keep this series rolling, and I think this is whatever the final game count is. It could be 4-1.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're going to look at it and go, that was a lot more competitive series than what it says it was. I saw Luka hasn't lost back-to-back games since March 1st.
Wow. I didn't know that.
That's a long time.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's two schools of thought on that. He's due.
Yeah.
Or he's imminent. One or the other. I don't know.
Chris says Luka cries more than LeBron. Let me pull the curtain back on the NBA a little bit. Every good player cries. They all complain about refs. They all cry about calls.
But Tim never committed a foul, AJ.
Yeah, I was going to say, you don't have to look no further than Tim Duncan, who was
never committed one foul his entire career. It's hard to do, and he managed to do it. Now, the refs were wrong a lot of times.
Right. The truth is, the better you are as a player, the more upset you get at these referees who are novices of the game.
You don't quite get.
You don't understand it. You don't understand what I was doing there. I think it's very rare a guy who complains about officiating like less than he should. I give credit to Shaq. I don't know that anyone in the history of time should have had more of a beef with officials than Shaq, because they
did change the rules for Shaq. Remember, before Shaq, you couldn't run a zone.
That's true.
And then when Shaq got here, we decided, you know what? If we don't do this, this cat's going to average 40 and 20 a night. So let's supply a zone, and you don't have to be real close to your guy. Remember illegal defenses?
Yeah.
That was a thing in the NBA.
Shaq used to get hammered all the time, but he would just play.
Mm-hmm.
And to his credit, LeBron now, he does.
I'm over it.
He does complain about fouls, but early LeBron, I thought LeBron should have gotten more foul calls, because it was like, dude, no one knew how to defend him. The freaking runaway train. Nobody that big is supposed to be that fast. And but yeah, all these guys cry. Nikola Jokic cries about fouls. Euros particularly cry about fouls.
Yeah, and the flopping and all that. I'm over it. I don't pay any attention to it anymore because everybody does it. For a while there, it was a very European thing to do, is to whine and flop and cry. It was the Vlade Divac of the league. And now it's just part of the game. It bothers me, but I don't even pay any attention to it.
I think what I'm looking for tonight, and we'll get into the lines a little bit, later in the program, like we normally do at 9:30. But for those of you around here who, you like to follow the rules and you play either Prize Picks or Underdog or whatever it is, I think there's a couple things to look at in this game tonight. And first of all, you have to consider this. We've heard this all year, and I think we're starting to see it's kind of held true. Role players have bigger games at home than they do on the road. We know that. The other thing we also know is if you are betting especially this late in the season, if you want to bet the points props on someone and it's a star player, if you are looking at the points props on Anthony Edwards or Luka or Kyrie or Karl Anthony Towns, don't bet the overs. They're juiced. Like, you're probably paying 2 or 3 points more than you were in the regular season because it's the playoffs and everybody's watching and everybody wants to bet the overs. Don't do it. So if you want to bet an over on someone, I think the ways to look tonight are look at some of these role players. And I think Jaden McDaniels is in for a big night tonight. I think we saw his value on the floor for Minnesota. He played 39 minutes. A lot of it was and they had him out there because he was playing such good defense, and they didn't take him off the floor. I think he's a guy you can look at. But I think what I want to look at tonight is with no Lively, I think you can look at Gafford, who he played 31 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
This is a guy who's used to playing 10, 12 minutes a game. And looking at his prop numbers, they're still lining him like he's going to play 15 minutes, 16 minutes. He's going to play 30 minutes. So you think You think he's only going to get 5.5 rebounds in 30 minutes? No, that dude's got one job out there. It's like his job is going to be block some shots, get some rebounds. So I think you need to look at these guys, these role players that I think are going to have a big day tonight. I think that if you're looking at the stars, I mean, maybe look at the unders on those guys. Maybe look at an under on a Kyrie or someone like that who's probably getting a little bit juiced. But I think you can attack the prop market with these lesser known guys because they tend to, particularly the home team. I think Gafford just because it's a minutes thing. But I think you're going to see Mike Conley have a big game. I think you're going to see McDaniels have a big game. I think both those guys show up big tonight.
And they better.
They have to. You're right. Yeah.
But keep in mind what we saw last and what we've basically seen for 4 consecutive games. Dallas has dominated pace. It took Karl Anthony to have an above and beyond kind of second half. I mean, that it should be the norm. It might eventually be the norm, but that was extra that we got. And we also saw Luka and Kyrie just not play very well. If one of those guys showed up, this series is done.
I agree.
Minnesota, for whatever happened to them in Game 3 against Denver, whatever happened then, they lost 3 straight. They found their way to get themselves back in, but they've lost more than they've won over the last month. This is a team that got punched once and really has never found their focus again. And Conley's been in and out. I just feel like this is a team that's still not really sure who they are.
I don't know. I don't know that I believe that because you're right. Game 3 in against Denver kind of did shake them, and they ended up falling down 3-2, but they came back and won that series against the defending NBA champs.
And I will give them enough, but they have lost more games than they have won over the last, and it's not close. And the way Dallas handled them early, there's no reason to think other than the absence of Lively. Now, the Lively, that is a valid thing. Now, on the other side, I heard Tim Legler talking this morning on the 4-letter on the way in. He does have a valid point that the schedule plays Minnesota's favor because, they were in Dallas and all they had to do was get home and win a game. Then all you got to do is win at home, and then you're going back to a place that you just won, and all you're thinking is all I got to do is get home. You get home, and then you're in Game 7 because of having the best record. So
if it goes to Game 7, Minnesota's going to win.
Yeah, this snowball's gaining speed. So Dallas needs to, if they don't get it now, the genuine pucker factor kicks in. I just rely on the Luka-ness of what's about to go down tonight.
This is what's interesting about Luka. And this is, has a chance to be sort of a career, at least an early career defining, series for him. Because this is statistically the worst that Luka's been in the playoffs, but he's having success with his team that he hasn't had, so much of. Him taking a little bit of a step back and letting Kyrie have some shine has been, I think, really good for Luka. But I also think if they lose this game tonight, you're going to see Luka try and put the whole thing on his back in Game 6. And I don't know if that's the best thing for this team.
I think for one game it is, but the trend would be negative. The trend would be that's not how you get here because that's why you kept failing in the past.
Yeah. And I think this matters. The winner of this series matters to the Celtics' chances, in my opinion, because I think the Celtics match up really well with Dallas. I think the Timberwolves are a tough matchup for the Celtics because the Celtics have moved their think back to 3 years ago or whenever this Celtics kind of I want to say like their runner-up dynasty started when their run as the Buffalo Bills started. It's funny to say that about a team that's got like more rings than anybody.
Wow.
But this group of them, they were so good defensively in the front court with guys like Robert Williams and those guys are all moved on now, and they've prioritized backcourt defense with Holiday and Derek White. Like, they're going to throw a lot of bodies at guys like Luka and Kyrie, and not having that front court depth doesn't hurt you as much against Dallas as it does against Minnesota, obviously, whose best player is attacking the rim 24/7, and their second and third best players are Giants. So I think the Celtics are hoping Dallas gets this done, but they probably hope Dallas gets it done in 7 because they want to keep resting.
You start wondering about Russ, but absolutely. I don't think the Celtics aren't worried about Dallas at all. Although I will say this, when you're dealing with Luka, one guy, like any other superstar, ain't going to stop him. But
no, you're right.
But it's about the scheme. It's about how you defend with a third defender, not even just the double team. That's the work that I think that the Celtics would appreciate getting another couple of days of film to get. So if they get Dallas now, they'll be much better equipped if they let them play a couple more games. They're not set up to beat Minnesota, no matter how Porzingis comes back. They're not big enough, tough enough on the front line.
I agree. All right, let's hit a break. When we come back, I want to talk about the Kansas City Chiefs, who things continue to unravel for them. You add that in with their schedule. Are we seeing the end of the Chiefs dynasty? Or will they get 3 straight? We'll talk about that this morning. Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Right now, there's lots of you that are sitting in pain. Right now, there's some of you that woke up this morning thinking, where's the medication? How am I going to get myself going for yet another day of going through this? Others of you have just accepted the fact that whatever it is just going to hurt from now on. Both of you need to listen to me close. There's a fix out there. It's Arasti. Arasti providers all around San Antonio, highly trained medical professionals with one medical goal in mind, and that is to get you out of pain as fast as possible. Now, a lot of physicians try to get you out of pain, and many are successful, but how they do it matters. We don't want to deal with medication over the counter or prescribed that dulls or hides the pain. You want to get the pain fixed. Arasti does that, and they use your body's natural healing abilities to take care of itself. So you're not worried about a prescribed opiate to hide the pain. It's your body's fixing itself, and it's not about surgery either. I'll tell you, if you're dealing with lower leg issues, plantar fasciitis, maybe it's a sprain or a strain, a frozen shoulder, a hip, lower back issues like I've dealt with, Arasti can help, and they can help fast. On average, under 3 visits gets patients back in the game. You call an Arasti provider today. They don't need a referral. You can call them now. Write this number. It's 1-800-404-6050. The website is Arasti.com. They got a map of all the providers there. I'm sure you'll find one less than 10 minutes from where you are now. Listen close. You don't have to live in pain. There's a fix out there. It's called Arasti. Call them today. They're going to get you taken care of, and when they do, I want you to thank me later.
94.1 FM.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer whenever I want? Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. 94% of Sleep Number smart sleepers report better sleep. JD Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. For JD Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
This story is called The Ugly Truth About Timeshare. If you think you've done your family a favor by buying a timeshare, you need my help. Hello, I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. 10 years ago, I started helping folks cancel their timeshare. In the process, started Wesley Financial Group to do one thing: help people get out of their timeshare nightmare. When you buy a timeshare, the timeshare company can raise your annual maintenance fees at will. I recently helped a couple that had their maintenance fees go from $800 to $3,200 a year. They also received a $4,000 assessment for a hurricane that was over 1,000 miles away. Sound crazy? Stop the insanity today. Call my office now. If we take you as a client, I guarantee we'll cancel your timeshare or you'll pay nothing.
Want out of your timeshare? Call now for your free timeshare exit info kit. 800-462-3333. That's 800-462-3333. 800-462-3333.
Let our team keep your home running comfortable and worry-free. Call on Mr. Electric for all your electrical needs. 210-248-2026. Or get a hold of us online at mrelectric.com and enter your zip code.
License number TECL 34221.
Introducing Lumi for Men, and we named him Mando. I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman's brother, the inventor of Mando Whole Body Deodorant for pits, packages, and feet. Because we all know our pits aren't the only places we get odor. Mando Whole Body Deodorant is different from anything you've tried before. It stops odor before it starts, powered by our acidified technology. Mando controls odor anywhere you have it. Her patented whole body deodorant formula has over 200,000 five-star reviews. And because Mando has a 60-day stink-free guarantee, you can try Mando risk-free. Give Mando whole body deodorant a try today and smell like the stink-free man you were intended to be.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 555 and get an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, 2 free products of your choice, and ships free with code 555. Go to shopmando.com, code 555, for an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack. That's shopmando.com, code 555.
You're listening to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
The Morning Huddle right here at 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Got to give away these Tesla tickets. Rob's wondering what the hell's going on.
I am.
I don't know what's going on either. It's crazy. I can hear Tesla in the background. I don't know how it's happening though. It's coming out of your phone, Rob.
I think that's coming out of my own personal Tesla playlist.
Yeah.
I saved this for the late night for the
You want to go see Tesla, friends? I want to send you to go see Tesla. The Keeping It Real Tour 2024, June 5th at the Aztec Theater. Let you see the signs.
Long-haired, freaky people.
Yeah, that's right. Be shot on sight. Yeah, man, I like it. And you know what? I've made a decision. I made an executive decision. Ty said, I love this show. And you know what?
I think Ty deserves something.
Yeah, well, he at least deserves a chance.
An opportunity.
Let's do this. Let's do. Tell me who was tell me first person in the Brigade bar to tell me the final score of the hockey game last night. You get to go see Tesla. How about that? That'll be easy. I was wrong about who was going to win that game, by the way. Well, yeah, don't give it away.
Oh, wow. They don't want to know the score, but the good guys. It's funny how that team I'm down with for whatever reason.
Because you know why? There's no Texan alternative.
Yeah, I guess that's it.
Which I don't like.
Well, they've let me down. I'm not going to lie.
You should have, if you're only going to have one option in a sport to cheer for a team, it shouldn't be a Dallas team. Like it was like
truth.
It just doesn't seem right. So I struggle with that, but I don't have to cheer for the Stars. I mean, I'm going to cheer for Dallas over a Canadian team, I guess. But I don't know if I might cheer for the Florida Panthers if the Florida Panthers get there. I would cheer for the Stars over the New York Rangers. Ain't cheering for no New Yorkin team. Bunch of Yanks. Look at that. Cougs is our winner. Vic. Hey, Cougs, call in and Vic will get you hooked up with these tickets to Tesla.
Cougs? I know that dude.
How do you know him?
Ruben. Congratulations, my brother.
Some people call him Skinny Finger.
Ruben could ball.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he could.
He ball out on you?
Young fella. We never had the opportunity. A bit younger than me.
Oh, what? You don't play anymore?
No.
No?
No, man. Those who can't do, coach.
When's the last time you got out and
I haven't played a
laced them
legitimate
up?
game probably in 2-3 years. It's over. I
Really?
have acknowledged the fact that it's I'm not risking a snap to anything for one more made jump shot.
I need to get myself to there.
Mm-hmm. No.
I've been
make
looking.
them rip the jersey off you, but I have come to the realization that the physical toll of the effort is just not worth it anymore.
I found myself last night laying in bed Googling fight gyms. And then my wife is like, why?
Yeah. Well,
just go lift weights, go run, do something like that.
You're
It's
a
like,
lion, man. Live the lion life.
There is something to punching people in the face and letting them punch you in the face. It's a lot of fun.
I wouldn't know. I avoid the second of those things at all costs.
I mean, I prefer to avoid it. If I've got a choice, I'd like option A.
I kind of live by the axiom: if you don't want to die in traffic, don't play in the street. So I'm to avoid getting hit in the face. I'm not gonna walk into I'll walk into a boxing gym. I'll happily hit a bag. I'll happily
It's not the same.
I'll happily dance around like Muhammad. But
it's not
once
the
we
same.
get in the ring, man.
That ain't the life for Rob Thompson.
It is not. I am definitely not a fighter. I have the scars on my face to prove it. I'm not very good at it.
The Kansas City Chiefs don't seem to be very good at off-seasoning. Although I haven't heard anything about any of no arrests in the Reed family, which I guess is good. But their off-season from hell continues. First, we had the Wanya Morris and Chuku Godric arrested for weed charges, which, okay. Marijuana possession.
Depending on where you live.
Yeah, was it a big deal? Probably not. Then you got Rashee Rice with the back-to-back. The car crash, hit and run, and then assault on a photographer. Not quite as thuggish as Scotty Scheffler beating up a cop, ruining his $80 pants, but he did punch a photographer because Rashee Rice is like the kind of dude that you've got to paparazzi are after. By the way, I saw he posted a video today conveniently, or yesterday maybe, of him doing charitable work.
Well, that's under lawyer's orders.
Which is
you better get out there and get busy.
Like he bought a bunch of Domino's pizza and waters and was like giving them to crackheads. And it's like everybody's got to eat.
Did my good deed.
Yeah, listen, I'm a good guy. I don't know what you guys are talking about.
Don't step near my leased Lambo.
Man. But Rashee Rice, I mean, he's trying to make up for it. I guess we can cross out one of those things since he gave away some Dominoes.
Yeah, we'll excuse him from the high speed.
Okay.
We won't get mad at you for the high speed. It's the leaving the scene that we're still a little concerned about.
We'll X out your speeding ticket, but causing the accident and fleeing the scene, that's got to stick
require
with you.
Maybe a family cookout, some kind of more than pizza. You might have to have a plate sale to get rid of that.
Yep. Fish
to benefit somebody else.
Fish fry.
Yeah.
Or, it might have to be a crawfish boil, and crawfish ain't cheap, Bubba. This is
we're talking felonious assault or with a vehicle, right? So it might take something of that ilk to get rid of that one.
But now, like, you get a plate of crawfish, like you're talking about $100.
Yeah, but if you're trying to get out of leaving the scene, it's going to cost you that.
All right. Isaiah Buggs, former Alabama Crimson Tide. What do we say when they were former Tide? Do we say former Tide?
I think you're a former Tide.
That's weird. I don't like that.
Yeah. You're Alabama.
He's formerly of the Alabama football program. Is now facing charges for second-degree cruelty to dogs. He had a pit bull and a Rottweiler mix chained up on a porch with no food and no water, and he had moved out of the house.
Dude, throw away the key.
The pit bulls already had to be put down. I guess they're trying to rehab the Rottweiler. There's hope for him, but Listen, man, you're bad to animals. I'm gonna have a hard time coming around on you. I'm gonna have a hard time coming around on you,
your
man.
dog chained up and moved out.
You're a sorry sack.
Yeah, that's going to take a bit more than a plate sale. That's going to take a little bit more of a rehab work.
Yeah, man. Now, when you think about the Kansas City, and that doesn't even include, listen, the biggest criminal of all was Harrison Butker. What an awful man.
His beard alone was a crime, but
Harrison Butker thinks you women, all you women out there.
Yeah. Oh, no, I agree with all that.
Oh. Rob,
I thought we were upset with the beard. Oh, no.
I thought
no.
you said your wife. I thought you said your wife
man,
was listening to
those
this
are
show.
Good old days, man. What are we talking about?
Yeah. Rob's wife listens to this show. He's already talked about how she mixes up the spaghetti before she serves it.
It's a plop action.
And now,
but at least she's in the kitchen cooking it
where
there,
she's
AJ,
supposed to be,
where she belongs,
wearing what she's supposed to wear.
What time is it?
Standing where she's supposed to stand,
wearing her special smock.
Oh, does she have one of those aprons?
Well, it's a divine thing. It's ordered by God.
Yeah, I mean, God wants your wife to be there to please you, Rob.
Yes.
But
I'll be looking for a new one soon. If anybody's out there.
This is not ideal when you are trying to defend a championship, defend a title, actually defend back-to-back titles. Also not ideal is their schedule, where they're the first team in NFL history to play on 6 different days of the week in a season. They play 2 games at noon, the noon slot all season long. It just feels like, man, the stuff is piling up for Kansas City. And the 109er says Harrison did nothing wrong, and I'm not saying he did. I listen. You're allowed,
he spoke to a crowd of eager listeners. I'm not mad at him for saying that.
I was saying that as a joke, but I mean, do I agree with him?
I don't agree with it.
No.
If you want to live that way, go ahead.
But you know what it did do? It caused a big distraction.
Yes, it did. And
Chiefs had to come out and address it.
And it begs the question. We all have friends. We know people that thrive in drama. If there's no drama, they don't know what to do with themselves. And that's the Cowboys. And I think the Kansas City Chiefs are growing into that kind of thing where if there's not the background noise of your tight end dating the most famous person on the planet.
Yeah.
I mean, I think that this is just kind of stuff that goes on behind the scenes now.
One of two things is true here, and maybe it might be a combination. But when you have sustained success as a team, either drama seems to follow you or drama gets exposed.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure which it is. I mean, maybe all NFL teams have this kind of drama, but it's a bigger deal because it's the Kansas City Chiefs, or maybe the success it makes guys loosen up a little bit.
I know that when guys get away from the Cowboy circus, they either go, wow, I miss it. Like, wow, there was always something happening at the Star, or they get away from it and go, now this is what the real NFL should be. I mean, This is it's a professional environment. I show up, I go to work. I don't have to worry about cameramen in the locker room or Jerry parading them through with somebody else or the next wrestling match going on behind me. You don't have to deal with that anymore. So, I don't know if the Kansas City's to the point where they thrive on it, they need it, or it's a distraction to the point that now we're paying too much attention to other stuff.
The Astros are a good example. We'll talk about this on the other side. I'll give you a reason why I think the success. You can kind of make a case for both things happening with them, but that may be what's happening with Kansas City. We'll do that on the other side. It's 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
The Institute for Functional Health and Dr. Jacob Torres changed my life. I love talking about where I am today versus where I was. It's nice being the after, but you have to start with the before. And before, I weighed nearly 300 pounds, could soar all the time, didn't sleep very well, and generally in a bad disposition. I walked in and met Dr. Torres and really was a cynic, to say the least. I'd tried some diets, but they had never been successful. And quite frankly, I didn't even really want to do it. He convinced me to give it a shot and told me that, even if you're a foodie, a guy who enjoys food, you can survive. You'll get by. And more or less, I did for a minute. But then I started to thrive into a program where I started feeling better every day. I started using smaller clothes. I started seeing things for what they were and not what I wanted them to be. And once that began to take hold, I started losing weight. And then you start getting those compliments. And before you know it, you're down 30, 40 pounds and you're looking to buy some new clothes. If you've gotten to a situation where the doctor's telling you a loved one is saying, or you're just tired of looking in the mirror and seeing what you're seeing, I want you to call Dr. Torres today. Let him explain to you why he can been so successful with so many people by putting together individual programs. He's a physician. That's what he does for a living. Weight loss is just part of the general nutrition standards that he lives by. He's going to put together a program that's only for you, that will put you in the best position to be successful. And we all need the guidance like that. Call him today and find out more. The number's 210-468-1891. His website is iffhealth.com. I tell you, go there. Trust it. Take a couple of those, those functional health tests. I promise you, they'll open your eyes. The number, remember it, 468-1891. Call him today. Get started on a program that you can live with for a long time. That's what I did. Go that way, and I know you're going to thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, yes, we do have NBA basketball tonight. Game 5 between the Mavs and the Timberwolves. Who gets it done?
We'll discuss and predict, plus we'll talk some NFL football with the great John McClain, who joins us at 5:15. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for up to half the cost. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Savings based on cost of Consumer Cellular single line 1, 5, and 10 gig data plans with unlimited talk and text compared to lowest cost single line postpaid unlimited talk, text, and data plans offered by T-Mobile and Verizon January 2024.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
Hey, this is Rob Thompson here from my good friends at Connecticut. Living in South Texas, growing up in San Antonio, it's been a great place to be because, well, we love the land, we love the people, and boy, do we love our water. That aquifer water, it makes some good sweet tea and some fine beer, but I'll tell you what comes out of the ground we do not want in our glasses, and that's where Connecticut comes in. The finest water treatment system you can get around these parts. Designed and built in the United States, it is made in America for you, San Antonio, for me. I've been a Connecticut customer for years, and now's the chance for you to be one without any risk. Call Connecticut today at 656-PURE. That's 656-PURE. And the good folks of Connecticut are going to come out to your home, put one in your house for the next 90 days. So you can find out what the rest of us already know, that we have a water softener designed and made with South San Antonio in mind. Call Connecticut today at 656-PURE. Get a Connecticut in your home for the next 90 days. You're going to be like me, a Connecticut customer. You know what you're going to do? You're going to thank me later.
ConnecticutSA.com.
This is Jason Minix from The Blitz, and you're listening to 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. What you know about that, Vic? Boy, everybody's running to defend Harrison Butker. He just spoke his mind, just said his views. You're not allowed to do that in 2024, guys. I hate to break it to you.
Yeah. I hate to defend opinions that I don't agree with, but the dude was speaking at a small Christian college.
Yeah.
I mean, he was kind of preaching to the choir. Allow the man to do that. They didn't bring him in there to tell him, you know what, everything you've done in your entire life is wrong. I hate to break it to you on your graduation day, but everything you believe, most people don't. So good luck in the future. No, that's not why he was there.
It does seem like a weird time to tell women to stop worrying about a career. Like the day they graduate, like your wife just got a what she'd get, like a
she's certified to be a diagnostician.
Imagine the day that she got that certificate. You said, I'd really like to see you spend more time cooking and cleaning,
Tuck
honey.
that away. I don't know what you've been thinking.
It just seems like the wrong time. Like read the room, maybe.
But he was at a school. It even had a name that was kind of scary.
Benedictine.
See, if you're at Benedictine school.
Yeah. No, it's just
I don't fault him for that. He probably should have asked for everybody's camera. Should have done one of those things.
That's the move.
Done a Chappelle.
Listen, I'll do this. Yeah, you gotta put your camera in a bag.
Chappelle on this.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say some stuff that's gonna piss some people off.
Yeah.
Them libtards gonna be mad at me later.
We were talking about the Chiefs and how the drama seems to be chasing them around, but I think it's something to do with sustained success. And it started me thinking about the Astros, who didn't have a bunch of off the field stuff, but everything that they did got magnified. And just for example, I don't think if the Astros had not won the World Series, but the trash can banging thing had still happened, I don't think anybody would care that much. I know everybody likes to clutch their pearls and say it's like the integrity of the game, blah, blah, blah. All these steroid heads and like the integrity of the game of baseball has been gone for a long time. Had the Astros been banging trash cans and gone 57 and 105, trust me, no one would be talking about it today. Like, how dare they? How dare they? They wouldn't be the most hated team in baseball. I can certainly tell you that. If so, Patrick Mahomes' brother, everything gets amplified, but because Patrick Mahomes' brother and his wife, listen, they're not the kind of people I'd want to hang out with particularly. I don't find them particularly likable. But if Patrick Mahomes' brother was, I don't know, Jay Feely's brother, no one would care. Like if he was an idiot, no one would care if Colt McCoy's wife was annoying. It wouldn't matter because there's no one's paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
So there is sort of a chicken and an egg thing of whether the success breeds the drama or we just see it more because there's success.
Well, there's more avenues. You have more avenues to get in trouble the more successful you are. And that goes in every line of work. But this one, I do think they kind of court it. I do think that there's something about it. Harrison Butker knew exactly what he was about to do.
Oh, well, he did. Yeah.
He knew, now we can say whether it was appropriate or not, but he knew exactly what he was going to say. And he knew there was going to be blowback. He's not a fool. He's been on the Kansas City Chiefs. He knows he's being watched. And when Travis Kelce sits down on his podcast with his brother, he knows exactly. When Pat Mahomes sits front row at a game with his wife, he knows exactly what's going on.
When Isaiah Buggs chained up those dogs on his
there is that. But there is you said it. It is a self-perpetuating thing. It is a momentum that just starts spinning. And then once it starts to spin a little bit, it gets good to you. And it's gotten good to the Chiefs. And that's the last stage of success on any franchise. Once that stuff starts getting good to you and it gets in the way, that's the end. Now, it hadn't gotten in the way yet, but I certainly feel like it's about to.
Here's the other thing, though, that success does. It buys you a lot of grace. And, this is the same team where the head coach's son got drunk and smashed into a kid.
Mm-hmm.
This is the same team where Tyreek Hill did all kinds of dreadful things to women, kids. But you remember when, and you talked about the Dallas Cowboys, the old 90s Cowboys, and the stuff that they did.
Mm-hmm.
No one was like, think about the grace that they got and the grace that these Chiefs get compared to like the Cincinnati Bengals from 10 years ago, who they were getting all the arrests were happening, but everyone's like, the NFL has to step in and do something. No one's saying the NFL needs to step in and break up the Kansas City Chiefs. No, they're putting them on prime time. Like, the NFL wanted to pretend like the Cincinnati Bengals from 10, 15 years ago weren't even a franchise. They were like, bury them in the dirt, hide them. We don't want anybody to see.
Well, how much of it is not so much the team now, but hoping Taylor Swift shows up?
Of course it's part of it.
Mm-hmm.
The Chiefs are a perfect storm of good and bad for the NFL right now. I mean, Patrick Mahomes is the biggest star in the league. Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are like, I mean, Travis Kelce's quickly becoming the biggest star to non-football people.
If he's not already.
He might be already. You're right. Like, I mean, I don't know if there's anyone who's more like not like non-football fan famous in the NFL.
There's not.
And really, if you go back the last 20 years, it's Brady, Peyton Manning.
We're kind of, and I think if you want to go by
Michael Vick, and for different reasons, but those were the three. Travis Kelce might be on the Mount Rushmore of famous to like people's moms who don't watch football.
Not might be because it's an exponential growth thing with just the social media aspect alone. Yes, he's already there.
Yeah.
He's the most famous non-football player in the world, or non-quarterback in the world by far.
Oh yeah,
far.
Certainly. Which is wild. It's wild to think about.
And that's part of this circus we're talking about.
I guess Gronk is pretty big too, but I don't think he's as big as
there's
this.
Not a lot of 13-year-old girls that are following Gronk's Twitter feed.
That's true. Yeah. So I'll just ask you to sort of wrap up the talk. You think this negative impact or positive? I shouldn't say. I doubt it's positive, but do you think it negatively impacts?
You never know if you're in the descendancy of your era until it's over. You never know when the first thing is. I get it's just time in general is ticking, and it gets to where, this is it. I don't think that what they've been able to string together and been able to overcome, eventually you run out of opportunities with Kelce. Eventually those guys that you bring in that keep dropping passes, you lose games. Eventually the running back that you just keep finding off the scrap heap don't show up. Eventually your defensive guy is worn out and Jones is, on the edge. Eventually those things end because you can't afford to replace them. And I think we're there with Kansas City. Is it over? No, but everybody's a whole lot closer today than they were at the end of the Super Bowl.
But also just like success can buy you some grace.
Oh my, ask Cowboy fan. Yes.
The flip side of that is once the success starts to fade,
ask Cowboy fan.
Boy, the leash gets a lot shorter. And I got news for Isaiah Buggs and those Isaiah Buggs and Rashee Rice. Listen, Patrick Mahomes could kill 3 people, and eat their livers. Like, and
he was having a bad day.
He made a mistake. These guys, these types of players, if the Chiefs somehow go 8-9. Seems unlikely, but let's say they do go 8, and let's say Patrick Mahomes breaks his leg and they go 8-9. I got bad news for guys like Rashee Rice and Isaiah Buggs. They're not long, not only for the Chiefs, probably for the league. Because once this happens and you don't have the success to mask it, man, there's a stink on you, dude. And it's one that, especially this Isaiah Buggs, I mean, a lot of guys in the NFL are driving too fast and probably leaving the scenes of accidents, whatever. Those other guys, a lot of guys are getting caught with weed. You leaving dogs on a porch.
I'll tell you what, you can't get much lower on the. It's an unwinnable situation.
It is, man.
It's over. You are done.
And in 2024, you're better off whipping your kids than your dogs.
You pretty much are. I mean,
true.
There's justifiable murder. You cannot justify this.
Yeah, Vic's laughing in there. I wasn't a joke. Like in the eyes of Twitter and all that, or X. Yeah, honestly, think about this. It is easier to defend whipping your kid than it is hitting your dog.
It's easier to defend killing a man in a bar than it is to chain your dog up and move out of the house.
Yeah. It's wild to think about, but it is. Yeah, no, there's not much excuse for it. And boy, you better do a lot of winning
what's
football.
Your opinion? Where's Kansas City in your mind? Are they almost done? Or are they still chugging along? I feel like, it's almost there.
I thought it was going to start to fall apart last year, and they won the Super Bowl. I mean, there are guys who transcend, and I think Patrick Mahomes, it doesn't really matter what's going on. Right. I think he's that kind of a player that he's not gonna be on like some garbage team. Like, there's some guys who are so good that their team can't be bad. I'm a little concerned about my my Justin Herbert belief, because last year the Chargers were bad. And if you're an elite quarterback, your team is never bad.
No, but the guy that Mahomes has reminded me of from the beginning was Joe Montana. Those two were they play the way, they're transcendent the way they are. Joe had his greatness in certain areas, but when Joe was at the end and he ended up, remember, he left San Francisco, but the heir apparent was there and goes to Kansas City. He raised the level of that team. They were better for it, but they were just above average. I see Mahomes, he's never going to be bad. You're right. But there's going to come a time when his skill sets have degraded to the point where he can't lift everybody anymore, that he's going to need some help.
For sure.
And no help has arrived lately. I mean, he's maintained, but there hadn't been any new help arrive, and I didn't see any new help arrive over the offseason.
Well, that's something else we were talking about during the break, like with the Cowboys. You started looking some of these teams that Cowboys and the Chiefs are I shouldn't say at the top of the list. I was going to say chief amongst them, but it
worked
at the top of the list because they showed it on ESPN today. The Cowboys ins and outs, like arrivals and departures. It's like, oh boy, this on paper doesn't look great for Dallas when Zeke Elliott's the top name on the list and Royce Freeman's second on. It's like,
that's a heavy running back room, man.
It is not
restocked.
Yeah, and not a good heavy, like not top heavy. It's just heavy. Not ideal. But yeah, a lot of these teams, I think Buffalo falls into the same category. Like a lot of the usual suspects of teams that have really been contending the last few years, they're just not as good. And the Chiefs are in that boat. Cowboys are in that boat. But yeah, the difference is between the Chiefs and seemingly everybody else, the Chiefs have a cheat code in Patrick Mahomes that I can look at if CeeDee Lamb's head fell off tomorrow and Dak Prescott went 7-10, I wouldn't be shocked. If Josh Allen was below, like if the Bills didn't make the playoffs this year, it would not totally shock me, because they're like, oh, we're gonna let Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, let all these guys walk. We'll figure it out. Patrick Mahomes, this happened to him. They took Tyreek Hill away from him. Like the best receiver in the NFL left, and they left him with literal scraps, garbage at wide receiver, and they won a Super Bowl. Like, not everybody can do that. The guys who have done it are named Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes.
But I would say that Brady never did it with less.
No.
I mean, he always had more.
Yeah, I don't know. It depends on what you think. Did he make Danny Amendola a player? Did he make Julian Edelman more than what he was? Like, the one real wide receiver that Tom Brady had in New England was Randy Moss, and they didn't win.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Tom Brady took a bunch of crappy wide receivers and made them viable, Pro Bowlers.
But as a sum total, less offensively, I think, in what I'm looking at, talent wise, no, they've been equal. It just felt like Brady was able to do it with, even when Gronk was with one arm, he was capable of it. And Kelsey has always been there for him. Always.
Yeah, no doubt. He's been very consistent. It's nice having that security blanket, but yeah, but if Kelsey got hurt this year, it'd be hard.
It wouldn't be over. I was going to say, I don't think it would be over.
Chiefs aren't missing the playoffs. Like, that's what I was getting to about Justin Herbert is like, everything went wrong. Keenan Allen gets hurt. Mike Williams gets hurt. Austin Eckler gets hurt, whatever. I mean, all that stuff could happen to Patrick Mahomes, and I don't think they'd miss the playoffs. Like, I think he'd find a way to compete. And that's the separator.
I wonder how much the league has changed even in this few years from Brady to Mahomes. I think it would bother Mahomes more. I think the league is different where there's more applicable talent immediately. You can change things quicker now.
All right, we're going to talk about airline etiquette on the other side. We've been wanting to talk about this. It's the Morning Huddle on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
This is Jim Rome. Have a take, don't suck on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star, KTFM, Floresville.
One of the preeminent researchers in the field of gratitude, Robert Emmons, writes that grateful people experience higher levels of positive emotions, such as joy and optimism, as well as being protected from the destructive impulses of envy, resentment, greed, and bitterness. So what would your life be like if you experienced and practiced more gratitude? And what impression would your life of gratitude have on others? And here is a bit of encouraging news. You can actually grow in gratitude. And there are two simple words that help us do that. Recognize and acknowledge. Recognize and acknowledge. Gratitude begins with recognition that something good has come into your life. Acknowledgement is recognizing the giver attached to the good gift. In other words, it's about seeing good and saying thank you. It can start with the giver of all good things, God the Father. This is Mark Absher with the MacArthur Park Church of Christ. Visit our church online at macarthurchurch.org. The MacArthur Park Church of Christ, connecting God and people.
Eric was way behind on his taxes.
I owed a lot of money to the IRS, almost $15,000. I tried to make payments.
The IRS wasn't satisfied with Eric's efforts, so they came after him full force.
They're coming to put a lien and a hold on all my income, my home, my car. I was just overwhelmed at what to do.
Then Eric called Optima Tax Relief.
When Optima Tax got involved, the calls would stop, the threats would stop. It was easy like 1, 2, 3.
Optima Tax Relief is A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, and their team of expert tax professionals took care of Eric's problem.
I owe $15,000, and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422. 800-714-8422.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Introducing Lumi for Men, and we named him Mando. I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the inventor of Mando Whole Body Deodorant for pits, packages, and feet, because we all know our pits aren't the only place we get odor. Mando Whole Body Deodorant is different from anything you've ever tried before. It stops odor before it starts, powered by our acidified technology. Mando controls odor anywhere you have it. My patented whole body deodorant formula has over 200,000 5-star reviews. And because Mando has a 60-day stink-free guarantee, you can try Mando risk-free. Give Mando whole body deodorant a try today and smell like the stink-free man you were intended to be.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 1515 and get an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, 2 free products of your choice, and ships free with code 1515. Go to shopmando.com, code 1515 for an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack. That's shopmando.com, code 1515.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 68 or more OSB sheathing. And there's more. Save 10% on select James Hardie products when you buy in bulk. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Because Lowe's knows savings. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location while supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Score a trip for 4 to Orlando's most magical theme park, including airfare and hotel. Register now to win at SanAntonioSportsStar.com. San Antonio Sports Center.
In the NBA, the Western Conference Finals continue as Minnesota attempts to save off a gentleman's sweep. Game 5 tonight at 7:30. The Houston Astros fell late to the Seattle Mariners 2-1. They'll wrap up the series today in Seattle, first pitch at 3:10. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
The Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Someone sent me a tweet with Chiefs management to their players, and Jim Carrey on Liar Liar. He says, "Stop breaking the law, a-hole," yells it into the phone and then just hangs up. Was that Liar Liar? Was that the movie?
I think it was.
That's a good movie. It's good. It was a good premise for a movie. Jim Carrey,
old lawyer, have to tell the truth.
Yeah, old Jim Carrey, brilliant. I mean, it was.
Yeah, that was at the apex of his career, right? That was before he decided he would be.
Yeah, I think. Well, I mean, I think most comedic guys, like the peak is usually the beginning. Like Ace Ventura, Dumb and Dumber. Like it's hard to beat those. Like those jokes lasted forever.
Yeah, I like those kind of movies because they're not forced, and then you got to try to figure out a way to keep yourself relevant. So those, the actors try to, okay, I'll try a rom-com, and then I'll try this to keep myself, and that's when you're like, you're at your apex, you're trying to find your avenue.
It happened to Sandler.
Mm-hmm.
I think without question, the best Adam Sandler comedies are Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore.
Yes, they came out real close together, and he was at his peak. He really was.
Now, he did make a movie before those called Gone Overboard.
See, I don't even remember that.
It's dreadful. It's terrible. But Billy Madison is maybe one of the greatest pieces of American cinema, particularly if you enjoy marijuana.
Well, now I think he makes movies just to keep his friends paid.
Well, yeah, and I mean, whatever he makes it's gonna pay $1 billion. Like
keep Rob Schneider employed.
Yeah, David Spade still got a whole comedy career because like everybody's rich because of Adam Sandler. Good for him. I went and saw Adam Sandler live, like I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, something like that.
Yeah, he came through here on that tour. Yeah,
and it's a really unique show.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. That's not for me.
My wife wanted to go. I said, okay, we'll go. And just randomly, like it's basically just him telling stories.
Yeah.
And then he randomly breaks into song.
I think those guys started those tours during COVID to just pay the bills, and then they committed to things past then and are kind of like, well, I guess I'm obligated. I'll show up. But yeah, I never saw Sandler as a very funny stand-up guy.
No.
I find him comedically funny, but stand-up was not where I would go.
But he had like Judd Apatow came out.
See,
and
there
then,
you go.
he brought out some funny people. It was I mean,
but you also got the Vegas treatment too, I'm sure.
Yes.
And I don't think Judd Apatow came out on stage here in San Antonio. I'm pretty sure he didn't jet down to the.
Well, that's what it's all about.
Alamo
It's like which friends could he get to
right,
show up?
Right. So I don't think
You
we
know.
got that. I think we got the standard guitar
and probably
songs.
like Tim Nettles.
That's who we get.
Yeah.
We're used to it though. We were actually happy to see him.
Yeah. So hey, there he is.
Hey, Tim.
Yeah. Welcome back.
Tim is an underappreciated cat too.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy's been around for 30 years, and everything he does is funny.
You ain't lying. All right. I teased it yesterday. We didn't have time. I wanted to talk a little bit about airplane etiquette. Rob and I are about the same height. I don't know if I don't. Do you have a feel, Vic? Is one of us taller than the other?
Taller than I am.
I thought you might be taller than me because you've got some hair that
I'm 6'9" with a fro.
Yeah, I think Rob with the hair makes him look
I think
taller.
we're both right around 6'4".
Yeah, we're very similar in height.
Yeah, pound for pound, we're the biggest talk duo in the country.
We've got to be. I feel good coming in here with Rob because at least he's not like towering over me. My son,
you got a big one.
He's bigger than me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like it. I don't like being in the
tall.
house.
You know, we were all.
I'm
for the
used to
most
being
part, I'm the biggest guy in the room wherever I go. And then when your son is bigger than you, it's an adjustment. It really is.
I don't like it at all. And he's 16 years old.
Gonna get bigger.
He might. Although I think he's starting to hope not. I think he's starting to get like the creaks and be like, oh,
yeah, this is
getting bigger doesn't feel good.
Gonna bother me when I'm 40.
But when you're the size that we are, airplane travel just sucks in general. It's not a good experience. If you fly first class, it's doable. But I mean, you still have to deal with all the things that dealing with flights are. But if you're not flying first class, it can be a real miserable experience. And I'm a big believer in this. I think that people who recline their seats on airplanes are the kind of people who leave dogs locked up on their porch and move away. Like there's not a world where the 2 or 3 inches that your seat reclines is more important to you than it is to the person behind you. Like no one does that little lean back and goes, oh,
that's it.
Like you suddenly feel like you're on the beach in the Bahamas and you're, oh yes, if I only had a Mai Tai, it'd be perfect. No, it's not any more comfortable. It's not any better. All it does is it ruins it for the guy behind you, particularly if he's like over 6 feet tall. And if you're a person right now, you know who I bet is a seat recliner is Jason Minix.
I don't know. I've never sat behind him.
I would almost guarantee he doesn't see anything wrong with reclining seats.
You know, he's a pretty savvy traveler. I'd put it more likely on Joe Reinagel would be a recliner
because of his ego.
Yeah,
he doesn't think about anyone but himself.
It's a TV thing.
That makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense. Okay, but yeah, I promise you, the person behind you is getting more suffering out of it than you're getting pleasure. And anybody who says, I paid for the seat, I can recline. It reclines, I'm going to recline. That's it. I mean, you're right, but it's just very selfish and sociopathic behavior. And I would guarantee anybody who says that is like 5'8", 5'9", and they just don't understand. I feel bad for fat people on planes. I think that's like the idea of having to buy a second seat is like, if there's any reason not to get fat, it's that.
It would be just.
I mean, I can't even imagine.
Dude, I've been big. I talk about it, and you're right on the edge where you kind of start thinking, if 3 hours on this, it's worth the money. Like
it might be.
Can't cram myself into this little tiny seat.
It might be like honestly, if I were so fat that I needed a second seat, what I would do is I would always get the second seat, but I would also travel with a dog, a small dog that stays in like a little, and I'd put that dog in the seat
to justify it.
And it'd be like, oh, well, I have to have a second seat. Yeah. It's not for my,
not the fact that my ass is.
It's not for my hip.
Yeah.
It's for this little dog.
So how often do you have people recline in front of you?
Oh, 75% of the
so
time.
So what do you do?
I have two strategies. One is I don't let it happen.
You keep your knees up against the...
I push my knees or my elbow up against the chair, and I just don't let it happen. And it hurts.
Yeah, but
it does not feel good. Or sometimes they beat me to it. Sometimes I get caught slipping.
And then I get the Jimmy legs.
You just shake.
They're gonna vibrate. They're gonna know
you're not gonna be
reclined.
Comfortable if you recline onto my legs. I promise. But there's some people who, if you try to stop them, they'll keep pushing back.
Fine.
And they'll try and catch you slipping. They'll wait. They'll say, "Oh, he's left his guard down. I'm gonna try it."
No, nope. I'm here all day.
But if you get up and go to the bathroom, and I'll be honest, I go to the bathroom less on a plane. First of all, because bathrooms aren't built for big people on planes.
Yeah.
But also, there's a chance that if I get up, they're going to recline.
Why do airlines even allow it? I would be, if I ran an airline, I would disable that just because I didn't want to put up with the crap. Like, you know what? I'd rather than bitch that you can't than deal with all the issues if you could.
They could. They should. You remember, for a long time, this was probably until... when did they stop allowing smoking on airplanes? You probably remember better than I
do. Probably in 94, 95.
Okay. I think
internationally too. No, I'm talking about internet. Not locally is in late 80s. Internationally, by the time mid 90s, you couldn't smoke anywhere.
So like on Southwest, like when I was a kid and we were flying from Houston to Dallas to go watch Nolan pitch, you couldn't smoke on planes.
They still had ashtrays.
That's
where you put your gum.
Says 1988 airlines based in the U.S. banned smoking on domestic flights of less than 2 hours. Okay. So, but the ashtrays were still there, and people, I remember vividly hearing people bitch, well, if you've got an ashtray, why can't I smoke? All they got to do is make those buttons not work.
Right. I've never understood why they allow that to continue when we all know what a nuisance it is.
The truth is, if you're on an international flight, okay.
But normally the planes are bigger. Yeah, for you to be able to recline. Now, okay, talking about etiquette. Now, have you seen the newer design of the airlines to allow? Now, if you're on where one is kind of higher than the other, I guess those seats are solid, but it just feels like if you're on the lower level, you're right at ass level with the guy in front of you.
Yeah.
We're going to need to have some
increased
airflow activity.
There's a danger zone.
There's a little bit of a fear factor I have for it, but at least in that configuration, you can recline a little bit.
Now, I think those are the worst things. I also think bringing your own food on an airplane is bad.
Now, what if you buy it in the airport? Do you have a problem if you run in with a Whataburger? I don't either.
No. If you buy the food in the airport, you can bring it on the plane. If you bring food from your house, it should not be on the plane. I always think back to the movie Hannibal. Like what can go right? But I read a story yesterday, and a flight attendant said the worst airplane habit, and I've never thought of this. Oh, the other thing. There's one more that I did think about. I hate when people take off their shoes on planes.
Don't do that.
Why does everyone feel like that's an okay thing to do?
Take it a step further. You shouldn't even be allowed to fly in chanclas. I don't want to be anywhere near your bare feet.
Like open toes, it shouldn't be a thing on planes.
No.
I don't understand that. You remember there was a time, like in the Mad Men days, where everybody who flew was wearing a business suit.
Dressed? Well, I don't need that either.
I don't need that either. But I'm just thinking,
I don't need your bare feet.
Where did we get to where it went from that to now you wear pajamas and no shoes? Because almost everybody wears pajamas on airplanes now. Which, whatever. I don't care about that.
But I don't want bare skin. I don't need that.
But especially don't take your shoes off. And having bare feet is bad, but also having just your socks out. Socks are smelly once you take your shoes off. Keep your shoes on. All right?
I've taken my shoes off.
Why?
Well, you know why? Honestly, it works. Before I describe it, it does. At the beginning of Die Hard, way back when I was a young, impressionable guy, at the beginning of Die Hard, remember Bruce Willis is flying on a plane. He sits next to the guy, and he's taking his shoes off, and he's walking his feet across the carpet. He goes, trust me, try this. Take your shoes off and stretch your toes. And Bruce Willis goes, wow. So I started doing that, and dude, it's true. It works.
That's disgusting.
But the thing about you take your shoes off on an airplane, your feet swell, and then you put your shoes back on, and then it's an uncomfortable walk. So I learned don't take your shoes off just for that.
Thank you. This lady, this flight attendant has said the worst thing a passenger could do on an airplane, and I did not think of this, putting any type of bottle that has liquid in it in the overhead bin. She says every single time, without fail, that water bottle, as soon as we take off, is going to leak inside the bin. So unless you keep your water in like a screw top Yeti or something like that, she's saying keep that water with you, because if you put it in the bin,
I've never had that happen, but I can see how it would happen.
Oh, I've seen it before. I've seen like where water starts leaking down, and I'm like, what is that coming from? And I never thought of it.
Airline fluid dripping on your head.
I literally thought it's kind of like if you've ever rode on a Greyhound bus or something, and the ceiling starts leaking, you're like, oh, well, it's like air conditioning or whatever. But she says that people will leave it in their backpacks, and it leaks on the people, and it leaks on people's bags. It leaks on the seats and makes the flight attendants have to clean it up. But the pressure drops. It causes the air inside the cabin to expand, and that means water bottles they leak. I never thought of this.
Me either. And this is not carbonated. This is just a random bottle of water.
I think that now here it says etiquette experts share things you should never do on a flight. Smelly food such as seafood, onions, garlics should be off the menu.
Truth.
If you know your feet will have a foul odor, don't take your shoes off. If they're uncomfortable, well, you should have worn more comfortable shoes. Yeah,
but I like how they qualify it.
I do. I don't like that they qualify. I wish they wouldn't.
Like if you, my standard might be a little bit different than yours.
Now here's adding to that. If you do take them off, it's not appropriate to walk anywhere on the plane barefoot or just in socks. Put them back on before you leave your seat.
I agree with that.
When it comes to clothes on the plane, it says dress like you're going out in public. That means no pajamas,
not to Walmart,
no racy or revealing outfits, and nothing you wouldn't wear to work.
Well,
she adds that you should
work in radio. Does that help?
Ooh, now this is one for you. You should never extend your legs into the aisle to give yourself more leg room.
Sadly,
even if the coast is clear.
I do that. And now I think I'm pretty good. I have a pretty good spidey sense if you're coming from behind me, because normally people are grabbing seats and you can kind of feel a shift, and I'm pretty good about it. But I have fallen asleep and stretched my leg out and gotten kicked or tripped somebody. I've been I'm a reason there.
And it says spreading your legs out like that is non-negotiable. There are seats with extra leg room you can pay for if you need that.
Not on every plane.
Well, that's true. That's true. Are you always, like, if you have the choice, do you always choose aisle?
I'm aisle on the left side so I can straighten my right leg out. Yes.
Okay. I choose aisle most of the time, unless it's an early morning flight and I know I'm going to sleep.
You can.
I try to get the window seat.
Even then, man, I can't cram myself in there. And I do have a fear of having to go to the bathroom, although I avoid it at all costs.
I always try to go to the bathroom right before I get on the plane.
Pardon me, excuse me, and then stagger to and from.
Right before I get on the plane. And I have such a, like, I don't know what, like, I've told you before, like, how much of an emergency it would have to be for me to poop at work. Yeah. I can't even imagine what would have to be happening to my body to consider using an airplane bathroom.
I have been on a flight back from Mexico where it was an absolute necessity. I could have just bought a ticket for in there.
I don't. Oh man, how much did you have to wrap up the toilet seat? Nobody is men. I usually think it's I think women over complain about lifting the toilet seat. Because I think if you're unless you've got some sort of health issue, most dudes can hit the hole in the middle of the toilet seat.
Well, yeah, most of the time. I'm not going to complain. Perfect, accurate all the time. I'm not going to claim I'm batting 1,000.
I'm not going to say I don't come home from the bar and get a little.
There's a little, and every now and then you.
But for the most part, if I'm sober,
I'm batting about, I'm a good 800.
Yeah.
That's good 80% of the time. But yeah, I will agree.
Now, on an airplane,
no,
you're below the Mendoza line.
That's a loose fire hose in there, man.
It's like
we're all hanging on for dear life.
It's on the walls. It's on the toilet paper rolls wet already. No one wants to use that.
And yes, and people want to have sex in there.
Oh,
why would you want to have sex in a urine-covered box?
That's crazy. If I were going to join the Mile High Club, I'd rather climb up in one of the luggage areas than use that bathroom.
You don't want to go in there after me.
You're going to get an infection.
You're going to
There's
get
no
sick.
way that can be good for you. All right, let's hit a break, and when we come back, we'll get into Bronny James and what the future holds for that young superstar. Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Did you wake up this morning, step into a Connecticut water softened shower, and attack the day? If you did, congratulations. You were buttoned up, as we say around the Thompson household. If you didn't, well, listen close. You can, and you can do it for a lot less than you'd expect. If you'll call Connecticut today at 656-PURE, Connecticut will come out and supply services that you're going to get in this part of the world. See, Connecticut, they offer a water treatment service that is designed and built in the United States. It's the most efficient you can buy. They have an award that says such things. And you get the peace of mind of having a piece of equipment in your home that you're never going to have to worry about it again. See, Connecticut, they say it, I believe it. It's the last water softener you're ever going to own. The way it's designed is unique. You don't plug it in. There's not a computer motherboard or anything like that. It works when you do. It works when you turn on the faucet, and it doesn't when you don't. That saves you salt, it saves you power, and it gives you peace of mind. So many of your neighbors have a Connecticut. It's hard to put into words why you haven't. Now's your opportunity. If you'll call 656-PURE today, you can have a Connecticut folks come out to your home, put one in your house for 90 days, and find out what the rest of us know, that you've got the last water softener you're ever going to own. Go to ConnecticutSA.com for all the details. Sing it while you type it. Listen close. Go get a Connecticut today. You're going to find out what so many of us knows. It's the last water softener you're ever going to own. Once you do that, I'm sure you're going to thank me later.
It's The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on The Blitz, yes, we do have NBA basketball tonight. Game 5 between the Mavs and the Timberwolves. Who gets it done?
We'll discuss and predict, plus we'll talk some NFL football with the great John McClain, who joins us at 5:15. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
There's never any FOMO with the iHeartRadio app. You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want us. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Introducing Lumi for Men, and we named him Mando. American-made, doctor-developed, clinically proven whole-body deodorant. Built for men, built for hard work. I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the inventor of Mando Whole Body Deodorant for pits, packages, and feet. Because we all know our pits aren't the only place we get odor. Mando Whole Body Deodorant is different from anything you've ever tried before. It stops odor before it starts, powered by our acidified technology. Mando controls odor anywhere you have it. My patented whole body deodorant formula has over 200,000 five-star reviews. And because Mando has a 60-day stink-free guarantee, you can try Mando risk-free.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 5050 and get an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, 2 free products of your choice, and ships free with code 5050. Go to shopmando.com, code 5050 for an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack. That's shopmando.com, code 5050.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
It's showtime!
Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star. Bronny James is going to remain in the NBA draft.
What's it called? The Lucky Sperm Club? Born on third base. Thought they hit a triple. Does that apply to him?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Applies to Klay Thompson.
Well, does it? I mean, those guys actually backed it up. I mean,
no, I meant your son.
Oh no, well, he was born on. He was not born on third base. I wish
Lucky
he was.
Sperm Club, not the other Klay Thompson.
No, the one that actually. I don't know if he's that yet.
Listen, I believe that Bronny James can grow into an NBA player. I don't say that like I'm not saying I think that he will. I'm saying I think that he can. I saw a good bit of him this season. I watched a lot of USC basketball because they have. The truth is, they have 2 guys in their backcourt last year, Boogie Ellis and Isaiah Collier, who I thought USC should have been much better than they were. But like Isaiah Collier is going to be a lottery pick. He should be, and I don't know if he will. I say that like I'm some sort of expert.
Once they work him out, he'll be okay.
He should be a lottery pick. And Boogie Ellis, if Boogie Ellis had better size, he would be a lottery pick, but he's smaller than he should be, so he won't be. But those 2 guys didn't let Bronny on the floor. But
we're talking about 2 NBA caliber guards, even at a high D1 school like that, is rare. I mean, yes, he couldn't get on the floor, but he couldn't get on the floor because 1, maybe 2 lottery picks. Well, at least 2 draftable guards were in front of him as a freshman or sophomore.
But how many, let's say a team like USC that basically was not good.
Oh, you're right.
I mean,
well, there's a reason their coach got fired.
Guard.
Didn't Enfield get fired?
Yeah.
So there's a reason why he got fired.
He left. He agreed to move on. So it reminds me of USC. That it reminds me of their football team, the team that was, a lot of people considered the greatest of all time. They had Ray Malaluga, they had Brian Cushing, they had what was the dude's name? The Clay Matthews.
I was say that big offensive lineman.
Yeah, they had all these guys that were like they put 4 linebackers in the NFL draft that year, despite only 3 of them being on the field. But we're talking about, one of the greatest teams of all time. It was Brian Cushing, Clay Matthews, Ray Malaluga, and Kaluka Maivia were all on that team. All went to the NFL. And Keith Rivers also on that linebacker on that. So they had all these dudes getting drafted, but it's like, how? They weren't even playing. It didn't matter. They
were playing against those guys in practice, and Bronny was going against those guys in practice. I'm going to defend Bronny today.
Okay, but mind you, this was the best USC. A lot of people said one of the best college football teams of all time. The USC basketball team last year was trash.
But the 2 guards that he was playing with were not. The team sucked. But he went night in, night out, day in, day out, practicing and playing against guys that are NBA caliber. And that matters to me. I mean, and it matters to scouts. And there's a reason why today he opted in.
The weird thing about now I do see, like, everything I've read, again, I didn't necessarily see this, watching him play this last season, but they said that he's tested as one of the most explosive athletes at the combine. He was one of the fastest guys at the combine, which doesn't surprise me. He's got good genes. But to hear the way that they're talking about him now, and like what his agent is saying, Rich Paul saying he's got a wide range for the draft, which I agree with. There could be some team who just likes a team like the Atlanta Hawks, who they just got to sell some tickets. The Sacramento Kings. Well, the Sacramento Kings feel like they're actually building something.
Well, they
decent.
actually have room for a guy like that. You know what I mean? That's one of the kind of teams that he should land on, where there's some space for him. He doesn't have to perform. It's a fun environment, and he adds a little bit of flavor. That would be a good landing spot for him.
The Portland Trailblazers need to sell some tickets.
Perfect.
There's some places where they don't expect to contend anytime soon, but they need to sell some damn tickets. Like, can we get some people in the seats? The Charlotte Hornets or Bobcats or whatever the hell they are these days, they need to sell some tickets. It kind of makes sense that they would say, okay, we can spare a roster spot.
And it's not just a roster spot. He has, and I hate to, my kid was stunted because I was his coach. I'm not a professional coach. I'm not a professional scout or a skills coach. I'm just a dad. LeBron and his skills coaches have been coaching Bronny since he was 6. He has had the finest and the best preparation of any human being ever to become an NBA guy, and he's got the genes. We know exactly who Bronny is. Now, I know what his skill set is. I've watched him since he was 6. We know what he is, and the guy was built to be an NBA basketball player. Will he be a great one? No. He is fully capable of being a 10-year NBA guy. And if you can get that guy in the late first, early second round, I don't care if your name's Jones or Johnson or James, you draft him.
Here's why I don't think I draft him, because Rich Paul did say this as well. He said, I'm not doing a two-way deal.
Well,
every team has been made to understand that Bronny is not going to be on a two-way contract, which two-way deals, for those who don't know, it means that the players are allowed, I think the number's 50,
right?
50 games on the NBA active list.
And they got to spend some time on the team's affiliate G League team.
And your salary is half of the rookie minimum.
Mm-hmm.
But most of the time, second-round picks, undrafted free agents, those are the guys who get these two-way contracts. He's saying, I'm not doing one. So what he's saying is, you're either going to treat a second rounder like a first rounder, or you're just going to draft him in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think I'm interested in either one of those things.
He's a late first round talent. He is.
I disagree. I disagree with that. I mean,
after about 20, AJ, they're all second round talents, especially this year. And there's nothing wrong with being a second round talent. That is a shot across the bow. And let me tell you, he's trying to separate the wheat from the chaff. But if he goes in the second round, there will be no option. I mean, dude, okay, so what are you going to do, Bronny? You're not going to play? You can't go back to USC. Where are you going, to Europe?
Yeah, that's a good point.
I mean,
we're not going to do it. Well, are you sure? What are you going to do? Demand a trade?
We're going to miss you.
Yeah. Or you could treat him like one of these Euros and like, oh, if you're not playing, we'll wait.
Well, yeah, we're no rush. Go practice. I think that's a shot across the bow, but I do legitimately think when you think of the guys that are going to go in the late 20s and into the 30s, it's worth the risk. You are going upside on it. And the guy, again, every facet of his game has been paid attention to. There's no guesswork with Bronny. If you go work him out, you know exactly where he's going. He knows what to do. He was born and trained to be an NBA player. And that involves a lot more than just being ready to play at 7:30 at night. There's the whole process of being a pro that this guy's been a part of forever. I don't have to worry about this guy. And that matters.
the question is, are you going to take a guy like him who, like you said, has the genes, has been trained by the best guys, or would you rather have a guy like Boogie Ellis who does not have all the physical tools that you would hope for in a guy that you're drafting, but you know what he is? He's a pretty good basketball player. Like, I've seen that. Like, what's your preference? How much are you banking on potential?
Well, you know, if you go that route, you don't draft Giannis and you don't draft the Joker. You don't draft those guys because you're going the route that I'm talking about. Is I know what LeBron is. I know what Bronny is.
Yeah.
I know, I've watched him. I've seen him. I know where he's going. That would have been me drafting Bronny and passing on the Joker in the second round, or Giannis late in that's the problem. You're passing on upside. You're passing, where the ceiling is. And you like the unscratched lottery ticket. There's a lot of GMs out there that are perfectly happy with a partially scratched lottery ticket. They'll take a $5 win over a potential $100 win down the road. And that's just job preservation. Bronny will help you in the short term, no matter what. But
he'll either help you sell tickets, or so he's going to help you in some kind of way.
Yeah, so I get why he's going to be drafted, and only about 60% of it is skill on court.
Yeah, the interesting is this season in particular. I mean, you're seeing a lot of these guys like the Risa Shea and Alexander Sarr. Like the reason why these guys are at the top of the draft board is potential. Nobody knows if these guys can play, but maybe they can, and that's better than knowing that they probably can't.
Right. And you know what? And I know that LeBron has taught his son to be an NBA player. That guy's already spent a lot of time on the court playing against NBA dudes.
And this is a year where I guarantee, like Terrence Shannon, we make fun of the Spurs drafting Josh Primo. No, like they knew what he was.
Yeah.
Terrence Shannon right now was a guard for Illinois. He was a senior, and boy,
Dallas product.
His senior year, he was a handful. Like he was almost unguardable. And he is, I don't know if anybody's going to draft him because of all he's dealing with, but I know that in this year's draft, GMs are crossing their fingers that somehow he gets cleared before the draft, because that's a guy that they know. We know this guy can play in a draft where we don't know if anybody can play. We got a senior who's shown over the years he can play. People are going to want to take him. I mean, they're just looking for reasons to take guys. I think there's something to that with Bronny this year. Like in a year where there's not a lot of guys with great reasons to take him, you can at least think of one reason to take Bronny James. I don't think Bronny James is going to be an impact player in the league.
No.
I think if I could draft him with a 2-way contract, I would, just to take a shot. I was thinking about the Spurs, and I think the Spurs have the 6th pick or something in the second round, maybe 5th, somewhere
something
around
like that. I don't know. Is the numbers up there like 38?
And somebody asked me, like, would you rather take a guy like Bronny James or a guy like Tyler Kolek from Marquette, who's another senior guard?
One of my
and Tyler Kolek, for those who don't know, is like, I don't know, he's a 6'1" white kid. He's not a particularly great athlete,
just a gym rat point guard.
He balls. And I said, I would rather have Tyler Kolek. And I think that, first of all, if my starting point guard has a bad day, no one's going to be clamoring, we got to put Kolek in. I mean, why? We drafted him in the second round. If he plays, he plays. If he doesn't, he doesn't. Anybody starts slipping, we got to see what Bronny can do. We got to see it. We got to put him in there. Whoever your 2 guard is, he has a bad day, we got to get Bronny out there. I don't want that pressure. And again, this goes back to what I've said. I've seen Tyler Kolek play. I know is his upside as high as Bronny's? No, but he's a $5 winner.
Yeah, he is. then you didn't even consider the possibility that Bronny brings daddy. I mean, that's a whole other part of this entire equation. How much will it play into the draft?
And I think it has to, although you've heard these guys try to distance themselves from each other. I think it's a foolish thing for Bronny to do.
I'll tell you what, the classic example of this is, let's just say Atlanta pulls some kind of weird deal where they end up drafting late in the first round, where they have something available, or a Charlotte where you go, it is worth a damn shot. I mean, we're going to do it, even if, we offer Bronny a two-way deal to start with, just to see if he brings his dad.
Would you want him in San Antonio?
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're talking about a guy who's still all NBA. I mean, we're talking about
no. I mean Bronny.
Bronny.
If there was like, let's say Bronny came with a 10% chance of bringing LeBron.
The Spurs are in a position. Bronny would be a good addition to the Spurs. He's not a guy that I would look at for a team that's close to a title. You got to be a little bit further away or on your way away from it.
Okay, let's say so they use their first 2 picks. They use that early second rounder.
For Bronny, I'd have no problem.
They got 1 second rounder left. Would you rather use it on Bronny or Jamal Shed?
You got me, Shed. That's one of the 2 guys that I go, well.
Would you rather use it on Tyler Kolek or
No,
Bronny?
I don't think. I love Kolek. He's one of my favorite players over the last couple of years. He's not an NBA guy. I mean, maybe he can turn into a McConnell over some years, but I don't have the time or the effort to wait on him.
To me, I want these guys that I've seen play. Like,
I like him. But
what about like a Jalen Bridges?
Now there's some upside there that I like.
See, I think there's a lot of players who have more experience, and I've seen more. AJ Mitchell from Santa Barbara, Baylor Shireman, a guy from Creighton that I like a lot. Like guys that'll be around then that I'll be like, I don't know that he's got the physical upside, but I've seen enough out of him that I like him, and I'd be like, you know what? I'd rather have that guy around. I feel like I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy, but I'm not thrilled about the idea of Bronny James. I just don't. Maybe it's because I haven't seen it. Maybe it's there, and I'm just not seeing it yet. But I'm kind of out on Bronny. All right, let's hit a break. Come back. We'll wrap up the hour. I've got a story about a mayor who was forced to resign. A mayor in Missouri, the great state of Missouri, and it's an animal abuse story, Rob, is what it is.
Oh my gosh, his name's not Bugs, is it?
No, it's not Bugs, but we'll talk about that on the other side. It is the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
The countdown to Miss Twin Peaks 2024 is on, and voting for Miss Popular is officially live. Head over to MissTwinPeaks2024.com to learn more about the contest and cast your 5 votes for your favorite Twin Peaks girl. Oh, those scenic views!
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch? Every day, from lunch to late night. Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-230-5174. 800-230-5174. That's 800-230-5174.
Must qualify for enrollment. Results may vary.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-9313. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 five-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-9313. That's 800-575-9313. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Look at you. You're a man. You work hard, you sweat hard, and then you smell hard. Just as God intended. Introducing a better way to fight your manly body odor with Mando Whole Body Deodorant. Mando takes a different approach to body odor. Instead of waiting for it to happen and covering it up, Mando's acidified technology blocks body odor before it starts anywhere on your body. That's right, anywhere. Pits, privates, and feet. Mando is clinically proven to block body odor all day and continue to control BO for 72 hours. Our cologne quality scents will enhance your manliness without being overpowering. Plus, it comes with a 60-day money-back guarantee, so there are no risks. Not that you have any problem taking risks. Hasta la vista, stench. Try Mando Whole Body Deodorant today. Go to shopmando.com and use code 1010 for an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack. That comes with a solid stick, cream tube, 2 free products of your choice, and ships free with code 1010. Shopmando.com, code 1010 for an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack. That's shopmando.com, code 1010.
Don't let pain keep you from doing the things you love. I'm Dr. Jason Garrett from Arasti. At Arasti, we fix pain fast. Whether you've been living with chronic and nagging pain for years, or if you've recently experienced an injury, our goal is to get you out of pain as quickly as possible. Arasti is completely natural and non-invasive. Plus, Arasti accepts most insurance plans. There's a location near you. Visit Arasti.com. That's AIRROSTI.com. Arasti, we fix pain fast.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson on 94.1 San Antonio's Sports Star.
I was looking at the big board on the Ringer where Kevin O'Connor puts his rankings up, and he's got Bronny number 69. Nice.
That would be third round if there was a third.
I don't think there's a third round anymore.
They used to do like 6 rounds in the NBA.
I also think conveniently his big board went to 70. Well,
that's the example of why you draft him. You had to put James's name on there because people needed to open the article and find out where they put James.
Right. But he's got some interesting stuff at the top of his, because he Alex Sarr's at the very top of his big board. And there's a lot of people. I think people are afraid to comp him to Wemby.
To Sarr?
Yeah. But there are people who are saying kind of the same things about him that they did about Wemby, that he is a wing trapped in a center's body.
Well, that's a true statement.
They've got him number 1, and the guy who's number 2 on almost everybody's, Reese Shea, is number 12 on his list.
Mark my words. I'm more on O'Connell's side with every pass. I think Reese Shea is going to get the GM that drafts him fired.
You might be right. Yeah, I don't know. I don't trust either one of those French guys as like number 1 or number 2 picks. Like I got to see. I've watched what I can find on YouTube, and I'm like, yeah, they're good.
Yeah, but see, if you're just saying, yeah, they're good, keep in mind that's their best stuff.
It's different than a year ago when I didn't know anything about Wemby other than what I could see on YouTube, and it's like, oh, you could see like, it's real easy to say. I don't know how that translates in the NBA. Will he be able to do that to NBA guys? And the answer is no. Like, he hasn't been able to do that to NBA guys. But boy, you can see he could potentially grow into it.
Yeah, you watch those highlight packages where they never take a contested shot. And if you ever see a highlight package with a player making a layup, they ain't got no highlights.
And you know what? Something I just said just came to me. Maybe the reason why I'm so low on Bronny is because the hype is here.
Mm-hmm.
And what I've actually seen with my eyeballs is way down here. It's just like these Euros, the hyped Euros that I'm like, I'm not going to believe it till I see it. I just didn't see it with Bronny, and it's not necessarily his fault. So maybe I'm, because I'm not a guy who would have been running up to hand in my card for Nikola Jokic. I wouldn't have been running up to hand in my card for Luka, a guy who could barely dunk a basketball, and saying, "Well, this guy, look what he did in the Euro League." Like I just generally say I want to see how this guy does. So like even a year of big time college basketball is valuable to me. And I did, even though Bronny did play a year of college basketball, you didn't get to see a year of him. I mean, he was out with his heart thing for a good majority of it. And then when he did get, to where he could be on the team, he couldn't get on the floor. So part of it is I think it's partly just my preference to guys who I've seen and I know. Like, there's a reason why I talk about Steph Castle and go, yeah, give me Stephen Castle. This guy is a dog. I've seen it. I say that about Donovan Clingan. I saw it. I saw it with my eyes. Dalton Connect. Does he look like he can play? No, but I've seen it. That guy can play. Jamal Shed, who we talked about, is probably a second-round pick. Yeah,
toughest dude in the draft.
I've seen it. I've seen what that dude is, and that's the kind of guy I want on my team. I just haven't seen it with Bronny, so my initial reaction is, I'll let somebody else take that guy.
My thought on Bronny, even if I had never seen him play, if you just told me this is the greatest player in many people's minds, son, who's ever played, who has been in the spotlight since the kid could dribble.
Yeah.
Every time Bronny took the court, he was the guy I wanted to put on my poster. He was the guy, because there's this pecking order in the grassroots world of who is ranked higher than me. Where is that guy? Because I got to show him the guys that are ranking, because that matters to me. That puts bread on my bread on my plate. So LeBron and his kid have been the target since they were 8. Every time they stepped on the court, they knew where Bronny was, and they were going to go at him every time because, hey, that's Bronny. So he comes to me, even though I've never seen him play. I know this cat is battle tested. Now, he might be arrogant. He might be someone who won't listen, but I know he has been through the wars, and that matters to me. That matters to me, that he survived that, and he's still here. Now, he might be lacking a physical tool or something, but I know this dude is tough as nails. Now, can he apply it, and will he listen to me? That's a whole other thing. But I give him more credit than I think people do. I give him the credit for being who he is, not the I don't take things away for having the last name of James.
The more I'm reading this, the more I respect Kevin O'Connor here. One of the things he does that a lot of people don't do, and it drives me crazy, is Kevin O'Connor kind of tempers expectations with his NBA comps.
Oh, okay. Who's he's comparing here?
Instead of like, how it'll be like, oh, shades of Kevin Durant.
Right.
It's like, stop it. There's no shades of Kevin Durant with this guy. The number one guy on his big board is Alex Sarr. Shades of Jaren Jackson Jr. and Jonathan Isaac.
That is I appreciate that comparison. That seems absolutely appropriate.
Right. Like it's not like they're not saying, well, this is the next,
But that's pretty damn good.
Sure.
You're telling me I could draft that, I'm in.
Yeah, but you know what? You say that, but not a lot of guys would say, if I could get Jonathan Isaac with the number 1 pick in the draft, I'd be super excited about it.
What did he go? 3, 4? I mean, he went pretty damn high when he went.
Yeah, I guess so.
Now, Isaac had his own issues, and they were primarily above the neck. But see, we get so caught up and we want to compare everything to Jordan and LeBron.
Everybody wants the next.
Compare me to a guy that played in the league for 10 years, that came to work and was never hurt and was on a part of a winning team every year he played. Give me those comparisons, because that's who I'm chasing.
Nikola Topic. Shades of Goran Dragic.
Oh, of course.
And you'd take that. Stephen Castle. Shades of Markelle Fultz, Anthony Black. You'd probably take that.
Mm-hmm. What if I said Topic is Christian Braun, which I think is a more appropriate comparison?
Is he big? I guess he's bigger than I thought he was.
He's a little bit big. He's 6'5".
Okay, yeah. Rob Dillingham. Shades of Lou Williams.
Buckets with Dillingham. Not a shooter, but a bucket getter.
For me, the G League guys who I don't know anything about, I always love to see their comps. because otherwise I know nothing about him. Shades of Lamar Odom for this Matas Buzelis.
Who, by the way, this Buzelis, if he proves he can shoot, if it gets past he had a terrible G League season, but he's got Kansas stock. He came out of Sunrise. This guy has been molded to be a pro, and his shot fell. Of the two guys that are going to rise fast, I think he is one of them that's going to be mentioned really earlier, a lot earlier than people expect.
Ron Holland, shades of Harrison Barnes. Harrison Barnes isn't a guy, it's not sexy, but that guy played in the league for a long ass time. Reed Shepard, shades of Derek White. Donovan Clingan, shades of Roy Hibbert. These are guys who you don't look at as franchise changing players, but these are guys who could play in the league for a long time. Those are valuable, valuable freaking dudes. And Jared McCain, shades of Curry. Seth Curry. I appreciate that. And you know what? Seth Curry's played in the league for a long time. Give me that. But they didn't try and push it. You know what I mean?
Because he called his mom. I just got compared to Curry.
Yeah. You'll never believe it.
Curry.
Curry. Bronny, Davion Mitchell, and Norris Cole.
His highest aspiration is Davion. If everything works out perfectly, that would be great.
Great news. All right, we're gonna come back, and boy, the show is flying by, man. I got to get into my mayor story. I totally forgot. We got caught up in basketball. I got that and much more coming up. Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
You're locked on the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. KTFM Floresville.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
I've got an idea for a new bit we need to do.
Okay.
I'm not paying. Like you're at a restaurant. Okay. They screw your order up. Just sit there and say, I'm not paying.
But what is that? Those are mashed potatoes, sir. I'm not paying.
Right. I'm not paying.
Maybe we should advise people, don't ever try to pull this on a hooker or a drug dealer.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
You go into your shower feeling, but as soon as you reach for the Irish Spring, your day immediately gets better. That crisp, fresh, unmistakable Irish Spring scent zings your brain and awakens your senses. So when you finally emerge from the shower, 37 minutes later, because you pay the water bill so you can stay in there as long as you want, you're ready to take on the day and smell great doing it. Irish Spring Body Wash and Bar Soap. Fresh, green, Irish. Shop now at Walmart.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
What's wrong with Rick? He's kind of spacey. That's Rick's identical twin, Scott. He's not used to answering to Rick. What's going on? Rick asked me to keep it secret, but he asked his twin to cover his shift so he could go to Diamonds Direct to shop. But this is a jewelry store. Exactly. But the prices and selection are so much better at Diamonds Direct. Rick doesn't want the boss to get suspicious, so Scott's here in case the boss sees Rick at Diamonds Direct. But that would mean that the boss is at Diamonds Direct too. Yeah, we have a lot of secrets.
You never know who you'll run into at Diamonds Direct. With unbeatable direct importer prices, the highest quality diamonds, the most sought-after designer rings, the best customer service, the strongest guarantees in the industry, it's just a no-brainer.
You think if Scott had a mustache, he'd look like me?
Go where everyone goes. Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion. Learn more at diamondsdirect.com.
Introducing Lumi for Men, and we named him Mando. I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman, the inventor of Mando Whole Body Deodorant for pits, packages, and feet, because we all know our pits aren't the only place we get odor. Mando Whole Body Deodorant is different from anything you've ever tried before. It stops odor before it starts, powered by our acidified technology. Mando controls odor anywhere you have it. My patented whole body deodorant formula has over 200 200,000 5-star reviews. And because Mando has a 60-day stink-free guarantee, you can try Mando risk-free. Give Mando whole body deodorant a try today and smell like the stink-free man you were intended to be.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 1515 and get an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, 2 free products of your choice, and ships free with code 1515. Go to shopmando.com, code 1515 for an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack. That's shopmando.com, code 1515.
Testosterone levels in men can start to decrease as early as 30 years old, and long-term health risks can be extremely damaging to your body. Rock's Discount Vitamins carries a variety of natural testosterone boosters that can immediately provide you with more energy, increased libido, increased metabolism, and improve your mood. Rock's Discount Vitamins natural testosterone boosters can even help you build muscle and lose weight faster. With 11 San Antonio locations, visit rocksdiscountvitamins.com. Thanking God and South Texas for all the support.
Score a trip for 4 to Orlando's most magical theme park, including airfare and hotel. Register now to win at SanAntonioSportsStar.com. San Antonio Sports Center.
In the NBA, the Western Conference Finals continue as Minnesota attempts to save off a gentleman's sweep. Game 5 tonight at 7:30. The Houston Astros fell late to the Seattle Mariners 2-1. They'll wrap up the series today in Seattle, first pitch at 3:10. I'm Rob Thompson for 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
From the studios of San Antonio Sports Star, reaching more sports fans than any station in South Texas. Welcome to the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson. This is 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Let's do it, baby. The Morning Huddle, 94.1. You can crack that beer on the air. No one minds.
That would have been a dead giveaway.
No one minds you cracking a brewski on the air.
It's 5 o'clock somewhere.
No one's here to judge you, bub.
Salute.
Oh, Rob, grow up.
Icy cold.
Grow up. This is I'm going to ask if you think the punishment suits the crime here.
I think all public servants should be shot for anything that they do wrong.
Okay. The mayor of Sturgeon, Missouri, has resigned after a city police officer shot and killed a dog.
Okay.
The officer felt threatened. His name is Myron Woodson. According to a statement, police received a call about a lost and injured animal. The officer believed the dog had rabies. He felt the dog would bite him. And his only option was to put him down.
Is he trained in the art of discovering whether a dog would have rabies or not?
Are you asking if he's a veterinarian?
I'm just curious if he would know whether a dog had rabies.
I don't think. I don't know. I don't know his background. Like where
he's a cop, I would figure there'd been some kind of training. I'm just curious.
Well, here's the thing, and on the surface, that story sounds reasonable.
Yeah,
dog's coming at me. I like
take him out.
Now, here's the thing. He told the dog to stop.
Well,
he said, "Get back." The dog kept coming.
Strangely, didn't work.
It didn't work. Part of why it didn't work was because the dog was deaf and blind. That's not funny, Rob. That's not funny. It was a deaf and blind dog.
Well, how would he know if the dog was coming at him? That was a 1 in 100 shot.
Well, he didn't know. The dog didn't know he was coming at the cop.
Well, how did
the cop didn't know why the dog was coming at him because it can't hear or see. On top of that, now imagine like a rabid, deaf, blind Cujo rushing at you. I could see that fear.
I'm unloading the clip, man.
But now what if it was a 13-year-old 10-pound Shih Tzu?
That was deaf and blind?
Yeah.
I think he's doing him a favor. I think that's a mercy thing.
Now, it's funny you say that because When the officer, the cop said, it was.
I'm kind of doing you a favor. What you have here is a glorified hot dog that poops.
Listen, it was, I don't know if you know this, but this dog had a rough life. I mean, I don't know that that's the way to present it to the dog's owners.
No, probably
He said,
not.
I don't enjoy shooting dogs. I'm sorry this happened. And then the guy says, so you think you're putting the dog out of his misery? And the guy said, what am I supposed to do? We don't have freaking animal control. He said, the officer just seemed not to have any remorse, and he seemed almost entitled, that he was justified in his actions and didn't really sympathize on how I felt. After reviewing the body cam footage.
Oh, that one was left on this one.
Yes, he didn't run into the the car.
The Scheffler treatment.
The city said he acted within his authority.
The cop acted in his authority to take out the dog.
Yep.
The blind and deaf Shih Tzu.
The office on the body cam footage, the officer seen entering the yard as the dog slowly walks around. After spending roughly 3 minutes attempting to wrangle the dog into a lasso, Woodson takes out his gun and shoots the dog twice. The officer proceeds to return to his vehicle and empty out a cooler holding drinks and puts the dog's limp body into the cooler.
Okay, why?
What are you going to do with it? You can't throw it in your trunk.
Well, what's he doing with the dog? Where's he taking it?
Not to animal control, because they don't freaking have animal control. You take him to Pet Cemetery. I don't know what you do. The dog's name was Teddy.
Sounds like he was hiding evidence.
Yeah, I know.
Why would you take the dog? I don't get it.
They said Teddy was a well-behaved dog who loved to cuddle with people.
Well, that's not much else he could have done.
He was never aggressive and he loved kids.
Man.
But now the mayor had to resign because he backed the blue.
So the general public's upset with what the cop did.
Yeah.
Well,
there's going to be a lawsuit filed against the city. They had a petition that had 36,000 signatures as of Sunday evening. I don't think that many people live in Sturgeon, Missouri, would be my guess. But yeah.
This is a tough one.
I think, listen, if you're charged with public protection.
Mm-hmm.
To protect and serve. Oh, look at that. The Sturgeon, Missouri population is 933. I
think we have some interlopers.
We've got
some carpetbaggers have arrived.
What's happening here is
Sturgeon to affect our roles.
What
obviously didn't do it wrong. As I've said repeatedly, the more evidence that comes out, the more it shows that Scotty was a victim here.
He's a victim.
The officer was the victim here. He was being chased by a dog.
Well, there's
y'all
the
didn't
other
see
part
that.
There's the other part of that. How is the cop to know that the dog is deaf and blind?
Okay, Rob. It's a 13-pound dog.
Well, there is that.
It's one of those things like if you have a job that allows you to carry around a gun and you're scared for your life by a 13-pound dog, you're probably in the wrong line of business.
I get the sense that, this was probably a guy who had some
Look at this dog.
Issues. This is the dog.
That's the dog that got killed.
Oh, no.
Like, how scared could you really be? He said, what was I supposed to do? I don't know.
Is this the picture of the officer I'm looking at as well?
Yes.
Okay, well, it's over. This guy's off the force.
He's done. He's toast.
He's going to jail. No, he can't go to jail. He was doing his job. But no, I'm sorry the mayor fell on the wrong side. I get backing the blue. But once you see a picture of this dog, they're going to win their lawsuit, too.
I mean, he has to hold his head crooked because he's, he's special needs.
Who in their right mind shoots that?
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, there's something definitely wrong with you,
said, and he thought that dog was rabid.
He's having a bad day.
And you can see this is the picture. This one right here, that is the cam.
Oh, with
the tongue hanging out.
No, man,
He thought that dog was
getting to the
rabid.
realm of public humiliation and embarrassment. What do we do to this sheriff, this deputy
This
dog
officer?
cop? This dude, Barney Fife. Now, this is wrong.
That's what I'm saying.
This is just wrong on every level.
Again, if you're telling me as a cop that a 95-pound Rottweiler is acting
Ain't
like
nobody
that,
mad at you,
man, you feel like you're in trouble. I get it. This dog couldn't have been above this guy's boot.
Small town cops, man. Not that all of them are bad. I'm not, but if it's going to happen, it's going to happen there.
I gotta say, man, if the
you
shot that dog twice, one bullet wasn't enough, Rob.
I can't. First of all, I don't know what caliber the man was using.
Like,
I would imagine there wasn't much left of that
what's the
dog
general
after 2
loadout
rounds.
for a cop? Is it like, I don't know?
I'm
but
sure he's carrying a 9mm
That would
at
be
the
my
minimum.
guess,
I'd have thought there wouldn't have been too much left of a 13-pound Shih Tzu after 2 bullets,
2
rounds.
bullets.
No wonder he went and got a cooler.
Yeah.
Now, man, and so the mayor refused. Well, that's you're dealing with police unions.
I mean,
I'm just not gonna. What's the name of this town?
Sturgeon, Missouri,
where Shih Tzus are no longer safe.
And this dude's still on the force as of today.
Well, I feel safer knowing he's there and not here.
Protect and serve, man. But when you're in a town with 900 people, I don't know. If you're in a town with 900 people, you think you're more likely to be like understanding. Oh, you probably knew those people and knew they had a deaf and blind dog.
I cannot imagine unloading on a little yapping blind and deaf Shih Tzu. You have got some serious issues to work through there.
And there's maybe some pent up anger with this
guy.
guy.
Drop kick the dog.
That's right. Like, if you told me, okay, the dog was acting crazy and I punted it across the yard,
You
I'd be
still
like,
lose your badge. We still
See-
slap you on it. You lose your badge. You can't do that anymore. But I don't think you're a psychopath. Now I think this guy's a psychopath.
Yeah, not a great look. I think he's in trouble. I think he's going to be in trouble.
And the mayor lost his gig over this.
Yeah, the cop still got his gig, but the mayor, he's like, I gotta
The
go.
mayor's unemployed because the cop shot a dog.
One more non-sports story before we hit our break. There's a radio show apparently more popular than ours in Australia.
Possible.
An Australian radio show called Fifi, Feeve, and Nick, where I think it's a wacky morning show.
Sounds like it.
But somebody called in and said that a woman called in saying she made some pasta for her brother and used the ashes from their grandmother as an ingredient, and he ate it as a prank.
It's a prank.
That's not a prank. Like, you should go to prison for that, right?
Well, did it taste good?
I don't think so. Said my nan passed away in August of last year and got cremated. Obviously, my family and myself were grieving, so I went to my mom's and thought to cheer her up a bit, let's just taste nan. After I did it once, I got mom to do it because I didn't want to be alone in it. So I served it to my brother as well. What? There has to be.
Is there a law? Is that even illegal? Has anybody ever considered dining on the ashes of either a loved one or someone else?
I've never even thought of that as an option. She told them that her brother had been recently released from prison.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
It was the first
It's all
meal he
coming
got
together.
when he got home.
Ha ha!
Oh, look, I cooked
gotcha.
for you. We haven't. She said we haven't lived with each other since we were like young kids. So I thought it would be funny to prank him, and I put nan's ashes in the pasta sauce. That's disgusting. I believe I might kick somebody's ass who did that.
You know what? I get the sense that that's probably not the worst thing that's happened to any of these people. I get the sense that there has been some other remarkably tragic and horrible things that have gone on in this family where you thought that after your brother that you have not seen in 20 years getting out of the pen, that you would spring a little practical joke by sprinkling the granny's ashes over his eggs, over his spaghetti.
She said that she's tasted them again since this.
Well,
She says she's got a weird addiction to the ashes and believes that eating them helps her to connect with her grandmother.
She has the strength of a fully grown human and the ash.
She says, I feel like we're closer than ever, and Nan will live on through me forever. You're literally pooping her now.
Well,
that's not the way to honor the dead.
I prefer it in a sweet tea.
Ugh.
Maybe a caffeinated drink.
Maybe you could put it in your coffee.
See, that one might.
You don't like black coffee?
What are you having this morning? Nan.
What a world we live in, Rob. All right, let's hit a break. We didn't talk about this yesterday. I want to quickly hit on the poor financial situation of Deion Sanders' son. I can't believe this, Rob, that we've already got bankruptcy in the Sanders family.
More money, more problems.
We'll talk about that on the other side. It's Morning Huddle 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
It's the Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2.
Coming up on the Blitz, yes, we do have NBA basketball tonight. Game 5 between the Mavs and the Timberwolves. Who gets it done?
We'll discuss and predict, plus we'll talk some NFL football with the great John McClain, who joins us at 5:15. The Blitz starts at 2.
The Blitz with Jason and Joe. Afternoons at 2 on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Soak up the summer savings with Family Dollar. Whether you're shopping for everyday essentials, planning a trip, or relaxing at home, Family Dollar has amazing deals on the stuff you need this season. See how you can save today at Family Dollar, helping you do more.
Nigel, what are you doing with all this stuff in the break room? It looks like a farmer's market in here.
I'm changing my eating habits, embracing good quality nutrition with fresh produce.
Folks, maintaining a healthy AC system is just like maintaining a healthy diet. Let's make sure your system is clean and efficient. Nigel, that's a pretty impressive healthy salad you've assembled.
Thanks, Joel. Now step back. The grease is hot.
Grease?
Quarter Moon Plumbing, Heat, and AC, 210-651-5899. License number TACLA 88589E M16004.
Sherry, what have you done to your hair?
What do you mean? Does it not look good?
It doesn't look good. It looks freaking amazing. I can't believe how thick and healthy it looks. Oh, I must know your secret.
No secret. It's hair volume from New Nordic.
Hair volume, huh? Well, it certainly lives up to its name. Your hair has never looked so thick. It is gorgeous.
I was so tired of having thin and brittle hair. Ugh, and the shedding. So I figured I'd give hair volume a try. Needless to say, I'm thrilled with the results. Hey, where are you going?
I'm going to pick up some hair volume right now. My reunion's next month and I want my hair to look as good as yours.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural health products from New Nordic, the #1 supplier of dietary supplements in Scandinavia. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or your local Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS. Available as a tablet or delicious gummy. Help your hair look full, voluminous, and beautiful again at newnordicusa.com, Walgreens, Rite Aid, or CVS.
Progressive asks, what do a middle school slumber party,
Let's stay up all night. Yeah!
a sleep-deprived girl, an early morning paper route, and a poorly thrown rolled-up newspaper have in common?
Hey, my window!
They can become a fast-breaking news story.
Sorry, Mr. Thompson.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
At Lowe's, save big every day when you buy in bulk. Save 10% when you buy 68 or more OSB sheathing. Plus, get an extra 5% off every day on eligible purchases when you use your Lowe's business credit card. Visit us in-store or online for low prices on the materials you need. Lowe's knows pros. Selection varies by location. While supplies last. Discount taken at time of purchase. See sales associate for details. 5% offer subject to credit approval. Exclusions and terms apply. See store at lowes.com/credit for details.
Gomez Law Firm has been taking care of the people of San Antonio for almost 50 years. The leader in personal injury law. Jose, tell us a little bit more about what you do.
We do ride-sharing cases, 18-wheeler cases. Obviously, we've done those for very many years. Work injuries. We will be happy to take a look at and see if we can help.
If you have been injured in an accident or hit by a company vehicle, then you need to visit joegomezlaw.com.
We've been around for almost 50 years, and we're not going anywhere.
Call the Gomez Law Firm at 736-4040.
Before you fire up that grill, make sure you get into Tri-County Meat Market. Hi, Jason Minix here. Tri-County Meat Market has everything you need. If you're thinking steaks, you want some chicken, some poppers, beef ribs, pork ribs, brisket, picanha, tri-tip. They've got it all at Tri-County Meat Market. Take advantage of their Pick 5 for $25, and Tri-County always offers a 10% discount for military and first responders. Tri-County Meat Market, 2 locations on Ralph Fair Road and on Heavener, or online at tricountymeat.com.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just 1 dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
It's the Morning Huddle with AJ Hoffman and Rob Thompson.
I was going to talk about Shiloh Sanders filing for bankruptcy after he lost a lawsuit and apparently said he didn't have any money.
I know where you can get a loan.
Yeah. Coach Prime. I'm going to just say, you know what? You guys can Google that because there's some breaking news in the world.
Do we have a 3-note sting, Vic?
That's what I like to do. Jalen Waddle has signed an extension. 3 years, $84.75 million.
This begs a lot of questions, AJ.
Is the first question how much of that's guaranteed?
That's one of them.
$76 million guaranteed.
All right, so you're Miami.
Third highest amount ever for a wide receiver guaranteed, behind A.J. Brown and Amon-Ra St. Brown.
So what does that tell you about Tua? What are they doing now? Is this telling you that they got the Tua deal in place, that they know the number and we're just filing off the edges? Or is this telling Tua, guess what, bro? It's about the receiver. It ain't about the arm.
If Jalen Waddle's getting this money and he's the second best receiver on the team, it's going to be hard to pay Tua the kind of money that Tua's wanting. Because and I think rightfully so. I like Tua. I think Tua's a good player. I don't think Tua's special. I think if you pay Tua top 10 quarterback money, I think there's no way it pays off in the long term.
But he is the quarterback of the Dolphins, and he's the quarterback that provides the skill set for Mike to do what he wants to do. I mean, there is some value. I mean, it is only in Miami, but he is only in Miami. So, as much as he is average to us in that system, it is paramount that you have a Tua, right?
Could you have drafted Michael Penix and gotten the same thing?
I don't think so. As much as I think Tua is above average, he does possess a very unique skill set that when applied in that Miami offense is unique. I mean, it highlights what he does best.
Get the ball out fast, be accurate,
and throw good deep balls. I mean, he's got a beautiful deep ball. He does. So I get why he's there, but you're running out of money.
I think they believe he's a replaceable part. And these wide receivers are not.
By their actions, you're telling me that. I don't know if I'm Tua, if I'm excited today or not.
Jalen Waddle holds the Dolphins record for most receiving yards in the first 3 years of his career, 3,385 yards in his first 3 years. I think importantly, 47 games played. He's on the field.
He is a stud. Now I have a long-standing and it's not a popular view, AJ, that this happened some years ago, and it's the Adrian Peterson rule in the state of Texas.
Okay.
That I've always believed that if you've gone to high school in the state of Texas and you leave and you play collegiately elsewhere and you go pro, you owe the state of Texas the costs of your education prior to. You have to write the state. Jalen Waddle is Houston. He's Houston boy. I think he owes us a little bit of money. He got $50 million.
Well, does he owe us? Like, what's it go to? Your property tax?
I don't care where it goes. You just owe us a little something, because you got there because of what we did, and then you left the state to go use it. So just a little something back. It's a little money coming back to the state of Texas with Waddle signing the deal. I think that I look at it the other side of this, AJ. I think this. If I'm Tua, he's going to get a little bit less. But if I'm Tua, I'm feeling very comfortable that I am the quarterback for the Miami Dolphins for the foreseeable future.
Yeah, I'm probably not feeling great if I'm Tua. I mean, I guess
It's a little less. Yeah, I'm not going to get what I thought, but I think they're going to give me a 5-year deal. They're going to give me something to make me feel very comfortable that I will be a Miami Dolphin for the foreseeable future.
I don't know, man. I don't know. Have you ever heard the story of why Adrian Peterson chose to go to Oklahoma?
I've heard some.
I had Adrian Peterson on my show, and
so he still blames Mac Brown for all this?
Yes. Yeah. So I asked him about it because the rumor was he was going to go to Texas, and he was on the sideline for the Texas OU game, and they dog stomped Texas that year, and he changed his mind. And
I heard he was told you're not going to get a start. That we're not going to even give you the chance or something like that.
That's what the story was.
I don't buy that.
So Cedric Benson was a senior that year, 2004, and Adrian Peterson said, I understand Cedric Benson's here. I understand he's one of the best running backs in the country. He said, all I want is a chance to compete for the starting job. And if I'm better than him, let me have the job. And Mac Brown said no.
What coach says that? I don't buy that. What coach goes, even if you're better, you ain't playing? Coaches will lie to you and say that you will, even if you won't. They will lie the other way. They'll say, oh, yeah, you got a shot. They'll say anything to keep you. And you're going to tell me that Mac Brown, after being able to recruit Cedric and bring all those guys in, didn't tell them that you have every shot to start? See, I never bought that story. Now, I get the fact that he was standing there and watched the team that I was about to commit to get dog stomped. I'm not going there. But that other story, that's why I never bought that one.
All I know is Adrian Peterson's he's the one guy that I've seen that kind of changed my mind about high school players not being able to go straight to the NFL.
Well, the Cedric is the other guy that I would have said, dude. But the idea of, I'm getting back to Tua, what Tua gets, the ripple effect for this Waddle signing. Think about what CeeDee Lamb made some money today.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think Justin Jefferson made any money. I think his market's probably a little bit higher than where Waddle is, but CD made some money today.
Justin Jefferson's going to be the highest paid wide receiver in the history of the NFL. But if once he is, it's going to be next year. Somebody's going to break it.
Yeah.
And whether it's Jamar Chase, I don't know who it'll be, but somebody's going to be.
But
let me
CD
renegotiate.
Wasn't going to go past Jefferson money.
I don't think so either.
But this Waddle deal, the guaranteed part, I think, is most important
here. And it is 76 guaranteed. AJ Brown got 84 guaranteed. Amon-Ra St. Brown got 77. So it is $1 million behind the second highest guaranteed contract
that's
ever.
The money he's going to get. That other stuff, that's superfluous. That's maybe not.
Yeah, well, I mean, because it's a 3-year deal, chances are good he's going to get all of it. But
I mean, they still could void that last year, and you're getting 76 no matter what happens.
But imagine that you pay a guy 76 out of 84, and you say, I'm going to void the last year.
Yeah, I'm going to screw him to the wall.
Yeah, I'll show him.
Yeah, go.
You're not going to make that last $2 million off us.
CeeDee Lamb is buying tonight.
I think so. I think CeeDee Lamb's got to feel real good about where he sits because, this is another guy who's 3 years in the league. That he's got a quarterback who's in a similar situation, looking to see if they're going to pay him. I think CD's got to be feeling good about this because I don't know. I mean, you can if you said Jalen Waddle's better than CeeDee Lamb, I'm not going to go get up in arms. If you said CeeDee Lamb's better than Jalen Waddle, I'm not going to get up in arms.
Okay,
I feel like they're in the similar class.
So Nico got his yesterday.
Yep.
But not to this level. But we're starting to see
Nico, his whole deal was worth 72, 73.
So we're getting the pecking order set. We're starting to get an idea where the dollar values are going to land. And this Tua thing, I think, will play a huge role in the Dak money as well.
I think you're right. Now the Dolphins have 2 of the top 4 paid wide receivers in the NFL. Those 2 wide receivers will account for $58.25 million next season.
Yeah, but combined 40-yard dash time is
they're doing pretty well with that. That's unbelievable, man. Good for him. Good
and
for
Mike McDaniel, man. He's got the pieces.
Dude, he's got
to have.
I think he's so good.
Mm-hmm.
I really do. I think he's very good. I want to not like him. I really do want to not like him. He's like, I don't like his face. There's so much I don't like about the guy. But then there's some things I do like that he was vaping on the sideline. I kind of like. I respect
low-key vaping on the side.
Like you're not sneaky, bro. Who are you trying to fool? I think I like him. I know he can coach. I know I'd want him as my coach. But man, what an offense these Dolphins have, and that's the risk you take when you invest this much in these guys. If you do move on from Tua, and the next guy doesn't work, now you've got these wide receivers that are paid a boatload, and you don't have any way to bring in a quarterback.
That's a nightmare scenario. And normally when Miami's involved, that's how things work out. And I'm going to add one little piece to this McDaniel puzzle. You know, they drafted Devin Achane out of A&M last year. He spent a lot of time hurt. This is another sub 440 guy. They're
the fastest team in the league by far. They don't draft you if you can't run.
They're the fastest in history.
Yeah. They do not want you if you can't move. And there's something to be said about it. Like all those guys they're freaks. Everybody on that team, every skill position guy on that team is ridiculous. Whether it's Mostert, you mentioned Achane, even Cedric Wilson. Like these they don't mess with you if you can't move.
Even their tight ends. What's their tight end? Is it Hawkins? No, it's the kid from Penn State.
Durham Smythe is the guy that was playing tight end for him last year. Yeah, they got it going on, man. All right. Let's hit our last break. We're gonna come back. We're gonna go around Vegas, take a look at the game tonight.
Made you some money yesterday.
Hopefully make some more, and we'll laugh at me for the money that did not get made yesterday with
stupid star.
Shota. Had a rough one. It's the Morning Huddle, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
San Antonio Sports Star.
The John Clay Wolf Show. Here's what's going on in the Wolf Pack.
Fuel prices are coming down.
No.
Have you not noticed?
CBS News 20 hours ago, after drifting downward for the past few weeks, gas prices are on the rise again.
2 weeks of dropping. I'm right for 2 weeks. You're right for 15 minutes. And you're going to trump me on national radio.
I'm sorry.
The John Clay Wolf Show.
Catch the John Clay Wolf Show Saturdays from 9 a.m. to noon right here on San Antonio Sports Star.
Get ready for the ultimate pop culture experience at the Ace Superhero Comic-Con presented by Thomas J. Henry. Join us June 20th through the 23rd as we welcome Hawkeye's Jeremy Renner, Andor's Diego Luna, and many more stars. Plus, capture a free selfie and autograph with 10 of the celebrities in the free autograph zone. Indulge in our free play arcade, explore Vendor Village, and rock out to daily concerts. Don't miss out. Get your event passes now at bmxevents.com.
Have you gotten your hands on Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at H-E-B yet? Southern Recipe small batch offers big, bold flavors like hot honey, spicy dill, and sea salt and cracked black pepper. Bonus, you're going to love the low-carb, high-protein crunch. Turn snack time from ordinary to extraordinary with flavorful pork rinds. Pick up your favorite flavors of Southern Recipe small batch pork rinds at H-E-B today.
The Magical Orlando Family Vacation Contest is a company-wide contest for your chance to win 4 tickets to Disney World. No purchase necessary to enter or win. One winner will be chosen at the end of the contest. Contest is only open to U.S. residents 18 years or older. Contest is sponsored by participating Alpha Media stations, audience or their parent, subsidiary, and affiliate entities, Alpha or audience employees, advertising agencies, promotional partners, and members of families or households are not eligible to enter or win. Odds of winning depend on the number of entries received. Contest is subject to all applicable federal, state, and local laws and regulations. Void where prohibited. Participants must sign all contest release and waiver forms to be eligible to win the prize. The contest begins Monday, May 20th and runs through Friday, June 7th. To enter, you must fill out the designated form on our website at sasportstar.com. Contest sponsors are not responsible for technical failures or malfunctions of any kind. For full contest rules, please visit sasportstar.com. Decisions of station management with respect to the contest are final.
Introducing Lumi for Men, and we named him Mando. I'm Dr. Shannon Klingman's brother, the inventor of Mando Whole Body Deodorant for pits, packages, and feet. Because we all know our pits aren't the only places we get odor. Mando Whole Body Deodorant is different from anything you've tried before. It stops odor before it starts, powered by our acidified technology. Mando controls odor anywhere you have it. Her patented whole body deodorant formula has over 200,000 five-star reviews. And because Mando has a 60-day stink-free guarantee, you can try Mando risk-free. Give Mando Whole Body Deodorant a try today and smell like the stink-free man you were intended to be.
There's a special offer for listeners. Use code 555 and get an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack that comes with a solid stick, cream tube, 2 free products of your choice, and ships free with code 555. Go to shopmando.com, code 555. for an extra $5 off a Mando starter pack. That's shopmando.com, code 555.
Texas has some of the highest volume of 18-wheelers in the nation. Big trucks can cause serious accidents that may result in serious injury or, sadly, even death. If you or a loved one has been in an accident with an 18-wheeler, call Thomas J. Henry. We handle serious 18-wheeler accidents and get serious results. Call Thomas J. Henry today. Available 24/7, nights and weekends.
San Antonio, Texas.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health San Antonio will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 210-615-7777. That's 210-615-7777. Or visit revivemenshealth.com.
This is Joe Reinagle. You're listening to the home of the Aggies, 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Boy, Rob and Stephen A. Smith having a moment right now. Rob's in here like, damn right, Stephen A. Damn right, man.
Always comes out, AJ. The truth always. 2 can keep a secret. 3 can keep a secret. If 2 are dead. 2 can keep it. 1 are dead.
Yeah,
truth is out.
San Antonio fans probably all nodding in agreement with old Stephen A. right now. Who the Chiron on the screen says, Kawhi might be the worst superstar in sports.
Head and shoulders. Cam Newton's a close second. But Kawhi certainly has earned his props.
I mean, this is not the... It's obvious Stephen A. does not like Kawhi Leonard. I don't know if there's something that happened, like Kawhi passed on an interview or what, but remember it was a little over a year ago that Stephen A. he said that Steve Ballmer should force Kawhi to retire. They've got to make him retire. And then he told Stephen A., he said, he could have given you 10 minutes. He could have given you 5 minutes. You guys could have won. I mean, it's clear there's something personal there. The worst superstar in sports. Hey, But you agree with
I
it.
defy you to find another. Defy you.
I don't know. Yeah, James Harden's up there for me.
Yeah, I would. He's close, but at least you know what you're getting in James Harden. Kawhi plays. He's smiling and quiet, and he just wants to be his own self. And just don't get in my way and don't bother me because I don't want to get in your way or bother you. Just let me be me.
Yeah,
I'll show up when I want, and I'm really hurt.
Poor Kawhi. Could have been great. They say, but yeah, you got to be available.
The thing is, he is great, and he is that good. And just
that makes it even worse.
Yes.
But hey, you got one more ring because of the guy.
Yeah, we got it there. We also lost one because of him.
Well, that's also
make a free
fair.
throw, dude. Anyway.
That's also fair. All right, let's head out to the desert and take a look at the daily lines.
It's the Morning Huddle's look at the daily lines with AJ and Rob on 94.1 San Antonio Sports Star.
Mavericks at Wolves. Line sitting around -4.5 for the T-Wolves. Open at 4, so some money in on the Mavs. I was telling Rob, generally, if you've got two even teams playing on a neutral floor, these are exactly the same power rated teams. You're looking at a price generally of about -160. And now you're looking at the Wolves sitting around -185-ish. So they're saying that the Wolves are about 15 cents better.
Yeah, they're saying they're better.
They're the better team.
I never knew how to read that line. I didn't get that till today.
So on a neutral, they're saying the Timberwolves would be favored, which obviously they'll never be on a neutral. Right. And it's in college basketball or college football, you get more of these. And obviously in the Super Bowl, you can figure out what a team's going to be on a neutral court. You never have them in the NBA. But yeah, but that number tells you that Vegas believes the Timberwolves are the better team. Now, that gonna hold up? We'll see. I would assume as long as the Wolves keep winning. If the Wolves win this game, I bet the Mavs will be. I'm going to say they'll be about a 2-point favorite at home. So they're going to be much shorter than the Timberwolves are here. You believe it's over tonight, though?
I feel like there's too much Luka.
Okay,
this Luka will at the end win the game.
I kind of feel like there's too much Anthony Edwards, but one of them's going to do it, and I'm going to be stoked. And either I think what we talked about a couple of weeks ago, where I said, we've all been talking about SGA and Anthony Edwards, but people have forgotten that Jason Tatum and Luka were supposed to be the next in line, and we just kind of said, well, they didn't do it fast enough. Let's move on. And now they're kind of getting to there. They're one. It looks like one of them's going to win it this year. And we maybe gave up on it too fast.
More important tonight, Kyrie or Cat?
Oh, Karl Anthony Towns. He has to show up. He has to take advantage of these games where Derek Lively's not there. If they get down, if they cut it to 3-2, Derek Lively's going to be. He might be walking around looking like he's drunk, but they'll have his ass out there in Game 6. Yeah, they're like, and they're saying whiplash, they're saying neck sprain or strain or whatever. That's a concussion.
That's
friend.
how they get around the protocols.
I've seen that before. I've seen that walk off the court before. That's a concussion. Let's stop.
His neck whipped in a weird way.
That's like what they said about Tua, a neck injury. Dude's like stumbling around like he's
that's his neck. He'll be all right.
Like he's leaving the Hustler Club at 4 a.m. Oh yeah, that's a neck injury, bro. We saw your face driven into the ground. Then you were like throwing up. Yeah, I'm not buying it. But the total sits at 209.5. I like the under. And here's my suggestion to you: if you like the Mavericks, you probably like the over, because Rob mentioned this. the Mavericks have dictated the pace of this series for the most part, and that's why they have a 3-1 lead. In the game where they did not dictate the pace, the Timberwolves were able to get the win. Timberwolves want this to be low scoring. I like a parlay maybe of Timberwolves and the under. If you don't like the Timberwolves, I think you might as well parlay Mavericks and the over. You're catching 4.5 points and over 209.5. I think that's the way you would want to look, because if the Mavericks are going to have success here, I think it's in a more of a track meet game. And if they can't get their pace, that's a huge advantage, in my opinion. If this is a defensive grind, I don't even think you have to ask who's winning this game.
Carl Anthony, let's do some over-unders. I like Carl Anthony over 20. I can tell you that.
I do too, but here's where I have pause.
Watch Lively.
Here's where I have pause. Star players' numbers get juiced in these games. You know what I like more than the points over is his 3-pointers over. I don't know. I haven't looked at the prize picks, but I know on like DraftKings, his 3-point prop was over 2.5.
We're at 2.5.
I think he goes well over that. I think there's a couple reasons why. Remember, he struggled so much in the first 3 games. He was shooting his ass off. Like, I'm chucking. Nothing was going in. And then between game 3 and 4, he said, all I did was shoot. I spent a whole day shooting. He goes out, and whether it was Derek Lively wasn't there or he spent that whole day in the gym figuring out his shot, suddenly makes 4 out of 5. You make 4 out of 5, and you're a guy who normally shoots 9 or 10, you know he's going to go right back to shooting 9 or 10. He's making at least 3 of them. That's probably my favorite prop on the board tonight.
Anthony Edwards over 28.5.
Not doing it.
Too high.
Yeah. So Anthony Edwards games 1, 2, and 3 didn't hit his over. He hit it once in game 4. And when he didn't hit him, guess what happened?
Yeah.
Prop stayed the same. He goes over one time, they bumped up his prop 2 points. Like, they know people want to bet the over. They know it. I'm telling you now, I've seen this play out. Don't get suckered into betting over points on these star players. If you think Anthony Edwards is going to score a lot of points, so does everyone else. And the books know, DraftKings knows, Prize Picks knows. They know that everybody thinks that Luka's going to score a bunch of points tonight, because that's what he does, is score a bunch of points. Be careful. Look for the guys. Look for the Jaden McDaniels. You want his number's not going to be in the 20s, and he's probably a guy who's gonna make an impact tonight. Look at the Mike Conleys. Look at the Gaffords who are, we know there's going to at least be a volume of minutes there that isn't normally there for him. That's the way I would look at the game tonight.
Mike Conley over 8.5 points. I'm sorry, rebounds and assists. Just rebounds and assists. 8.5.
I like that.
I do too.
And you know who else I like on assists is Anthony Edwards. Remember Anthony Edwards he assisted on 2 of the 4 cat threes, and he went way over his assist prop last game. And usually when you have success, Anthony Edwards distributed the ball last game now, and they won. What do you think he's going to want to do? He's going to want to get his teammates involved.
Over 7.
So listen, it's a fascinating game. I'm backing the Wolves tonight. I think they get the job done. I think this, and like you were saying that Tim Legler was talking about.
That's the other part of this that plays into it. You got to consider the mindset of the team. We talk about, home and road. When Minnesota was in Dallas, all they had to play for is, we just got to get home.
Yep.
If we can just get home, we'll worry about home when we get there, but home's better than here. And they did. Now they're at home. So go win your game and go back to the place where you just won. And then you go, all I got to do is get home. So the way that they're structured, and they get to play that last game 7 at home, it's the easiest way to win it. I don't think they can, but if you were going to do it, you're going to have this kind of schedule to kind of help you down the road. So this, for me, is game 7 for Minnesota.
Well, every game is game 7 for Minnesota now.
This is or for Dallas. If they let this get back home, things are going to start getting weird.
It feels almost coin flippy.
Yes, Dallas. They come in tonight. This is game 7. We can't afford to go back home, because these kids are going to start to believe this stuff is real.
Stars and the Oilers even up their series last night at 2. tonight we get game 5 between the Florida Panthers and the New York Rangers. They are also even at 2. God, just think about that, how hockey's doing this. And meanwhile, the NBA is like already one of the series is over. It's crazy. Panthers Rangers have played 3 consecutive games with overtime. Line tonight, the Panthers minus 121. The total 5.5. Boy, give me over 5.5 in this game. Just on the assumption that we're going to get overtime. 2 + 2 equals. I think we're going to see a lot of. Maybe I'm wrong. I generally like the unders in these games, but I think that if this is going to be another tight game, and if it's not, we get an empty netter. Give me that action, baby.
I thought the Panthers were the best team still.
Well, there's a reason they're minus 121 on the road. But they're still considered to be significantly better.
But I want you to find out.
The Rangers are feisty.
What's a comparison for the Rangers for other teams that put it in my parlance? Who are the Rangers? What are they like? Like an NFL team in the playoffs? Compare them. Are they the Lions? Like, are they on their way up and they just got to? We know there's time. Or are they like Tampa Bay was? They're like, man, we're in it. We got nothing to lose because this team's going to fall apart next year anyway.
I don't really know. I don't know what their structure is like going forward, but I know that they're in. It is very Lions-like. They're a team that's typically not around at this point. They typically have early disappointment if they even make it. So them being here, they're like, okay,
starting to worry me.
Maybe they're not an easy out. But this Florida team has been the best team in the East all year. So the expectation is that they're gonna move on. I thought that they were gonna. I figured this might be a sweep even. Clearly, the Rangers are fighting. So at least worth a watch tonight if you're not into the hoops. On the hill tonight, on the diamond, boy, my guy Shota Imanaga,
ouch,
had given up 5 earned runs in his first 9 career starts. He gave up 7 last night. So
the wind was blowing out.
Imanaga has been sort of an ATM for me. I had to deposit a little back in on him last night, unfortunately. But the Mariners got the job done. They were I said, Verlander. I feel like George Kirby's pitching better than Verlander. Boy, Verlander's figured it out. Both guys pitched awesome yesterday. 2-1 win for the Mariners in 10, though. So we got it done. They go at it one more time tonight. Spencer Arrighetti on the mound for the Astros. Logan Gilbert for the Mariners. And I think I might be going Mariners again just because it feels like the Mariners own the Astros, right? They keep winning. Remember a couple years ago when the Rangers just couldn't beat the Astros, no matter what? Like, you just knew it was death taxes and the Astros are going to beat the Rangers. And then when they finally beat them, it was like, yeah. And now they've kind of, they're at least they have competitive series. The Astros need to break through against this Mariners team. And I don't know if Spencer Arrighetti is the guy who's going to do it. So I'm going to go. I think I'm going to go with the Mariners. I kind of like the under too, because Arrighetti has been pretty solid. And, the Astros bats aren't exactly lighting it up against these Mariners here. We saw George Kirby give up 1 yesterday. So maybe the way I would look in this one. Zach Gallen on the mound for the Diamondbacks. I'll be honest, I don't understand this line. And I'm not a great enough baseball bettor to feel like, boy, this is just wrong. But I'm betting the Diamondbacks today. Here's why. They are minus 114 on the road. Zach Gallen pitching for them. Christian Scott, who's been good pitching for the Mets. I think the Mets are such a train wreck right now. I mean, they got a guy throwing a reliever, blowing a game, getting kicked out, throwing his glove over the netting into the 4th row.
He's a nice guy. He just lost a little control yesterday.
Well, I think, and he also just lost his job yesterday.
Well, there is that.
So, yeah, I want to and Edwin Diaz, the Mets closer, he's on the IL. I want to fade the Mets as much as possible, and here's a cheap spot to do it. Minus 114. Boy, that feels real good. And I'll throw one more at you. Kansas City. I told you I like bad teams with a good pitcher. Brady Singer going for the Royals today. Plus money. Minnesota's minus 128, so you can get plus money on Brady Singer on the road. So I think I'm going to like Kansas City today as well. Just a couple of the games I'm looking at here.
I do want to warn you.
Right.
I did see that the Mets had a team meeting yesterday.
Oh, that'll fix it.
They gathered together without their coaches, and they met to discuss their internal problems. So I expect greatness from here on
Their
out.
internal problems are they don't have good players.
Well, there's that.
Like, there's just nobody there.
I hate whenever I see a team meeting and discuss our problems. That to me tells me this place is about to burn down.
It is a mess.
If you think a team meeting is going to fix what's going on, more power to you. Yeah, y'all gather together and discuss your inadequacies and figure out how you're going to fix this.
You throw your glove into the stands,
dude. The Mets are
things aren't going well.
A dumpster fire, and I take great pleasure in watching.
Boy,
it. It's an expensive dumpster fire.
And did we ever nail the doubleheader between the Pirates and the Tigers? We just
you even said before you lay on the second one, make sure the man is pitching, and he was, and they won.
Tariq Skubal pitches, Tigers win. Paul Skeens pitches, Pirates win. It's as simple as that.
And Skeens had 8 strikeouts in 2 innings, baby.
He's good at sports.
Oh,
I think he pitched more than 2 innings.
I'm just saying. I was
the math would be tough.
I heard 8. I swear, I thought I heard that this morning. He had 8 strikeouts in 2 innings. That's pretty damn good. That's one of those new records they just imported.
Boy, he and Mason Miller. That's the strikeout kings right now. A's lost a game last night because they threw somebody else in the 9th in a tie game. They threw some redheaded dude, and he blew the game.
They're protecting the stats. Baby.
Should have given it to Mace, my guy. That's going to do it, man. Tune in to the Blitz. They're on 2 to 6. It's a good show. Not as good as ours, but it's good.
But there are closers, so I got to take it home.
Check it out. Morning Huddle 94.1. See you tomorrow, baby. San Antonio Sports Star.
On your ride to work, it's the Morning Huddle with AJ Huff.